Attention viewer, you are watching the world's biggest monster truck diecast YouTube channel. This is Monster Jam OCD.
Oh, Taryn! Oh, that's Tyler.
I don't know why I
sold that. Taryn, okay. You can't call me. Don't call me.
Okay, well, we're starting. I didn't mean to solo Tyler on that click. I meant to unmute myself. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Monster Collecting Podcast. Today is episode 30. Of course, every 10 episodes we do something special. And today we have special guest, Tyler Remieres, Savage1Customs. If you want to say hello, you can. And then we're going to do our housekeeping notes from Phil. So, Tyler, hello. How are you?
What's up, man? How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good.
Awesome. I just rolling about me and whatnot.
Why would you want to call us? We're in the middle of a podcast.
What?
I didn't click nothing.
What are you talking about?
It's echoing.
Podcast. Be here wants to call somebody. Are you the OCD hacker?
I bet he is.
I hear feedback.
It's not me.
My camera's echoing. It's making me nervous. All right, there it goes. I think it's good now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to take control of this real quick. So today's episode is a little different. We're not, as usual with every 10 episodes, we kind of just go off track and talk to our special guests and then just kind of open up to open discussion. Today's the same way. We have, obviously, like I said, Tyler here, but I do want to make a few notes. Wait, what was I saying? This Monday, today, I released a new video. So I know people are asking me why I wasn't releasing videos. I just wanted to give time for Series 18. Series 17 is making it across the USA, so it's been found in Oklahoma and Texas now. So that's updates on that. I also got a new crew shirt thanks to Chris, my friend Chris, for helping me get this off of Facebook Marketplace. It's one of the Spin Master authentic ones that they were wearing in 2019. So I'm glad to finally have that. So thank you again to Chris. Anything else I can think of? Oh, OCD Meltdown. If you guys haven't got one yet, I don't even have one on hand, so maybe I shouldn't be advertising it. They're still available on monsterjamsuperstore.com. There's less than half of the units left, and Digger's Dungeon is also still available. All right, Phil, your turn for housekeeping notes.
Hi, everybody. My name's Phil. No, you can't call me. Don't worry, Taryn's going to be back in 30 minutes. Okay. What a good day. I got some mail today. I got actually the Digger's Dungeon truck in the mail today, finally, as well as my OCD Meltdown came in the mail. I didn't even open my OCD Meltdown. It's still in the box. I threw it in the closet because it's going to go out to California once I get some other mail later this week. Hopefully, if it comes later this week. So, surprise, Ryan.
Yeah.
Mailing you
I still have a few. I have to ship some back. I still have a couple of fans.
That's okay. There's the drawing of OCD
Beautiful
Meltdown.
drawing.
I'm looking for hero cards. Here's an example of what I'm talking about.
Someone already knew.
This is a Black Pearl one, if you didn't know.
You do singles now? What?
Oh, Black Pearl? Here you go. No, that's old. That's old stuff. This is actually what you're looking for. This is from Glendale. It's upside down. All right. You go to Monster Jam event. Go to the pit party. You get Phil one of these. Okay? A couple people claim the bounty in Indianapolis that there's some stuff that's hitting the mail tomorrow. All right? No event this weekend. We got Kansas City and Huntsville the following weekend, so we can use some help there. Biloxi and Columbia, South Carolina. I don't know where you guys are at. I can't find anybody that even lives in those towns. If you know somebody, phone a friend, call a hotline, get Phil a hero card. Please help me. I'll trade you one of these. I'll trade you some of those over there.
Got you for Nashville.
And I got one taker for Nashville. So that's very good. Got a couple more events coming up here, so help Phil out.
Okay. RJ, anything on your end?
I just got sunburn at the All-Star race this weekend, NASCAR All-Star race. That was fun. But other than that, not a lot here.
Cool. Okay, well, with that said, I think we can just start our discussion. Tyler, if you want to just kind of give a brief overview of who you are, maybe your fan background of Monster Jam, anything really. For right now, it's kind of your show. So we'll shut up and then we'll ask you questions later after you introduce yourself, similar to how we did with Brian, Patton, and Taylor. So
gotcha.
The floor is yours.
Oh, so I'm number 3, Dale Earnhardt. Woo! All right, so my name is Tyler Remieres. I've been into this sport, hobby, how you want to word it, since 2004. So working on 17 years now. Started out with doing artwork, and then it rolled into modeling of 124 scale trucks, and then wasn't too big into the Hot Wheels chassis, so stay away from those. And then Spin Master came out with their stuff. Keep that on the download till later on, the other episodes. And I'm rolling into doing those diecast work. So I just got my hand in a little bit of everything. Yeah, I just love monster trucks, Monster Jam. You name it, monster trucks rule. Woo! Yeah, that's about it. Total fanboy. So yeah, here we are.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So like we said, we don't have much of a real plan for this podcast because one, Tyler was chosen our special guest like 30 minutes before the podcast started, and two, we have a mysterious man on the loose, which everyone thinks I'm in on this. I do not know who OCD champion is. It's kind of driving me insane now because Phil denies it.
It might be Tyler because he was real excited to come on tonight.
I don't think
I'm ready to choke him out. Come get it.
He's our enforcer. What are you talking about, Phil?
Just choking through the dang freaking camera.
Well, but
the reason I say that is
made an
Instagram. I say all this is because random what? Okay.
What just happened?
I don't know. The reason I say that is because I got tagged on Instagram by a brand new account, Official OCD Champion, and he accepted my invite to episode 30. And I don't know if he'll show up. I don't know when he'll pop up. I don't even know if he will pop up, but just want to be prepared for that. So we're making a little wiggle room here if he just kind of pops in out of nowhere. But for now, I guess we'll just lead a normal podcast. I do have a couple questions for Tyler. I know a few of the answers because I've talked to him a lot, but how about this? You were one of the very few members who attended the All-Star Challenge influencer event. Was there anything that you learned about the behind the scenes of Monster Jam diecast creation that surprised you or kind of inspired you or any of that? I mean, I know there's a huge amount of information that day, and I guess I never really asked the opinion on that. So I guess let's answer it on air.
That's good.
Well, I talked to the three top designers, Jordan being the top one. The thing that surprised me the most is just how much Spin Master cares for the community's feedback on not only what trucks, but how to make these trucks look accurate to the real ones. Like, hey, we don't want just some random tool. We want it to look like the real thing. I mean, look at Kraken.
Yeah.
And all the trucks that came before it. Like, it's not even just the Spin Master team, but like even Jamie, the president of Monster Jam, like there's just so much behind the scenes. There's a reason behind why every decision's made the way it is, whether it's the crush cars or set it up to go off from the diecast, but they care so much, and there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes. Like I was just totally blown away. Like it started with the little meeting, and then it just kind of took off, and I met all kinds of people. But yeah, Spin Master, it's just crazy how much they care. That's the biggest thing I noticed is how much they care, and it shows in the diecast that they're pumping out year in and year out. So not only that, like the other cool thing is one of the prior designers for the Hot Wheels monster trucks actually got hired by Spin Master, and he's got his hand in it too. So he's got a lot of the do's and don'ts that he learned throughout the years, and he's feeding it to Spin Master, and then their team's taking it. Now we're just getting this awesome product. But of course, you got Hot Wheels firing back with the Bigfoots and all this other stuff, mud tires, etc. So I don't know. I think this is probably one of the best times ever to be a fan of diecast monster trucks right now from both companies, just kind of competing. But the care is the biggest thing I've taken away from that. It's just through the roof.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have great points made there, and I actually forgot that designer actually did kind of jump ship and join the Spin Master fleet. Yeah, great points that were made at the meeting. We did get to talk one-on-one with those designers. Actually, all of us were there. I forgot that you two also were there. So I mean, all four of us did attend that.
RJ was there.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, I feel bad.
No,
RJ was
there. Honestly,
yeah, he was there. He was wearing his complaint car crew shirt.
That's why I didn't get one.
Was Alex in the meeting with us? Alex Barden?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So that's who RJ was with. So all four of us were there. I forgot that these two guys did it too. Phil was just walking around. He's just doing his job.
No, he's sitting down
this
for
a minute. He's
just doing his job, watching everyone. I'm kidding. Hi.
Said hi.
I want a standing ovation.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he did get a standing ovation. That's very, very
I
true.
didn't even say nothing yet. Everybody
I
started.
forgot about green light. My bad, dude.
And yeah, so I agree with the points made that right now is, even though it's very bad for your wallet, it's the best time to collect because you have
that's awesome.
a wide variety.
I love being broke.
Yeah, same.
A wide variety of things to check out every month. There's something new, whether it's from Hobbo, Spin Master, Greenlight, or other brands. And it's constantly kind of ramping up to become like this diecast war, as we call it, where one's like always trying to outdo the other. And it actually created a very healthy competition and kind of pushed everyone to do their best when they could. And I think that's the best part. Anyway, so when he comes back, there he is. Phil, do you have any questions for Tyler? I guess we can go like one by one around the.
Yeah,
I feel like Casper. I'm sorry.
Being a podcast expert as he leaves the room. Yeah, I know. He's an idiot.
I'm playing with the lights. I see this.
Yeah.
A little glare. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right,
so, like, I'm an expert podcaster, and I always like to build a timeline, or at least I try. And this one is like talk about All-Star Challenge. That was like yesterday.
2 years ago.
Let's totally backpedal. How would you become a monster truck fan?
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna backpedal to the 90s. So, my uncle used to take me to the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Grant, I don't remember any of this. I wish I did, because Monster Patrol, Barefoot, Bigfoot, always there. What got me, oh my God, into this sport? I was just flipping through the TV one day. I turned it on to Speed Channel, and the World Finals was on, and I saw Lupe Souza and Toro Loco go through the trailer, through Bounty Hunter, and land, and I'm like, what? Dude, I'm hooked. And it just took off from there. That was the day it did it. Yep.
I can totally attest to that. That's like how I became a fan. I'm a lifelong motorsport fan, especially NASCAR.
Yep.
So Speed Channel was always on, because they had all sorts of NASCAR stuff going on, and then like
Lucas Oil on the Edge.
On the Edge, and all this.
Racing, that was good stuff.
The Hooters Pro Cup Series, man.
Track racing, lawnmowers. Rest in peace, Speed Channel, man.
A lot of good stuff, and that's how I found Monster Jam, because like Monster Jam had like that set time slot, like the mid-afternoon, and just like one day I just turned it on. I was like, this is pretty cool, So like I can totally attest to that. So you don't remember anything from those first events, but like what was like the first event like you do actually remember being a part of?
So unfortunately not the Dunkin' Donuts Center, but back in the good old days when it was called Bank One Ballpark, Phoenix, Arizona, 2006. I can't remember specific moments in an event, but the following year we went. That's when Rod Schmidt hit that I think it was the quad jumps, and he front flipped it and landed on Craig Christensen's Dragon Slayer. That was a good one. Yep.
See, first Glendale, because that's where we're at now. Phoenix. My first ever event was in Phoenix in 2007. So.
And Firebird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I miss Firebird.
I've been to Firebird. I have a list of. This is something I challenged a lot of people. I have a list of every event I've been to keep track of these things in case like you do forget where it was, who's the promoter, how many events, who was the lineup. Just little things like that. I have written down somewhere. I went to Firebird maybe 3 times with the drag strip.
Were you there in 07 when Unnamed Untamed did the donut wheelie?
No, but I am certainly familiar, especially now knowing Sam, very well. So
I wish I took your advice though and did that with the World Finals, because I used to do every other year, and then I went 3 in a row, and now I can't remember them.
Well, what was your first World Finals?
2005 when Cretan won freestyle and Medusa won racing.
That's let's see. I take
only
that.
year it rained.
That's 16 years ago now.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Don't say that.
Dude. Makes me feel old,
should we dive into the first truck now? Man, you just
like most of the people watching right now probably weren't even alive when Jimmy Crete won his first world championship.
Yeah, I've been. It's funny. Me and Mutant Zumi has been talking a lot. I've been drawing longer than he's been alive. That's funny.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
You want to dive into this now?
RJ? Yeah. What do you got, RJ? I'll let you.
I'll go too off topic.
Well, I mean, Honestly, y'all were doing pretty good. I mean, interesting. This first World Finals was the Rain World Finals. Tyler, I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. The only people that didn't wear ponchos, me and my grandpa.
Oh gosh.
I wouldn't have brought one to Vegas either, so don't feel bad.
Now you should have been there in Orlando when Jimmy finally won the racing title. Then we had to stop the event because of a thunderstorm. That's like everyone says perfect storm. Like literally, it's a storm.
Yeah. Okay.
We can get to it or whatever we're doing tonight, guys. I don't think I have any specific questions for Tyler.
Well, okay, then I just pivot back just to like a free discussion since he mentioned Lupe was kind of the reason why he even saw and got into Monster Jam. We just had a recent kind of reveal. Again, this podcast is not a specific year, so we're just going to talk about this real quick because I want to address it because I didn't address it on my main social medias and people kind of wondered why. But since the Lupe was mentioned and this was just revealed by Target's inventory system, which it probably shouldn't have been so early, this is this year's 5-pack. And it's not a retro 5-pack. I'm actually glad. I know it's a really bad photo. We don't have better quality photos, unfortunately. It's not a retro 5-pack. You can't read it, but I know what it says. It says Evolution Edition. They took my suggestion on that not to call it a retro pack because Bulldozer's in it. And I'm actually thankful for that, but I'm also now thinking back on Retro Edition Max D, and I guess they should have probably called that an Evolution Pack 2 because Team Ments. Gravedigger is really the only retro full pack, but that's beside the point. Lupe was mentioned, and Lupe's original El Toro is, go back, there we go, is actually here.
White horns.
And it is, we'll get to that discussion in just a second, but I just want to point out, it's the original, the red El Toro Loco with the white horns and the red flame tips, and then of course the logo across the side of the entire truck. And then we also have a couple other things. I mean, the main reason I didn't share this on my social media is because this is a very early sample. Not everything here is final, especially the fact that this says 2001 below it. I get it. I know that it says 2001. It's not meant to be there. So just give them. This has happened before with the other five packs. So just give it a moment. They're gonna fix it up. It's not even due till October. I don't have my sample yet, so just everyone take a breather. But it is coming out. I mean, this is pretty exciting to see. And I guess I'll open the floor up now to Tyler. Actually, so what do you think about this? I guess it's packed in an entirety, but also this truck. I know it probably has significance to you in that respect.
Of course, I got 3 big comments. 1 being a customizer, and 2 being a huge fan, and 3 because it's Lupe. So the first one, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because was the original El Toro Loco ever a front engine? I don't think it was.
Yes.
So why isn't that truck a front engine? That's the first comment, but it's not really bugging me. The second one, I'm sorry.
I'll answer that after. I know why, but I'll answer it after.
The second one, I do find it pretty interesting that we have 2 quote-unquote chase pieces sitting in this pack. If you look at the lower maroon El Toro Loco, we got chrome headers.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I actually like this pack a lot because we get 4 trucks with retro tires. For me being a customizer, that's huge. Yeah. Especially one being there's black wheels in there. So I'm already drawn to this. And we got a front engine truck in the pack as well. So there's just a lot of variety in this pack. So I'm surprised it's El Toro Loco. I think there's a lot of other trucks that we probably could have put there. But the pack that they did give us, I mean, it's pretty good. Even though we already got 3 out of the 5 that are in here already given to us. But it's a good pack overall, especially for someone that likes to customize stuff. So I'm done.
Yeah. So perfect. That's exactly why we wanted to open this up. I'll let everyone speak about it tonight, and I just want to start with him. The main note that was made is the front engine. So when they tooled out the front engine, which took a lot of engineering because everything has to be usable on every single truck. So they had to make sure the cage was set correctly. The plan was originally to go super, super accurate to Mentz's chassis, but that wouldn't fit every body. So they had to modify that. With that comes extreme cost. And since El Toro Loco did eventually run a front engine, especially with that body, they saw the opportunity to use that. It might not be historically accurate in terms of the date they're portraying, but it is a reason to use the front engine, which I applaud. I mean, it looks pretty cool with it. But yeah, it's not completely historically accurate. And I think the most important thing is to remember, even though we do our best to make everything, our feedback at least accurate, these are also still, I'm just reminding, not making anyone feel bad. It's still a toys line, a kid's toy line.
All right.
Anyway, I think I was talking about the historically inaccurate part of that, but hopefully that answered that question for most fans who are wondering about that. I did actually get multiple questions about the front engine, 2 on top of the 2001 Yellow Toro Loco. Another note I actually forgot to mention in the beginning of this whole discussion was the fact that if you look closely on this horn, not this one, there's actually a pink ring around the horn. Now that's meant to be Becky McDonough's bandana. I don't know if it's a new tooling. I can't tell with this blurry photo. We're literally like using a magnifying glass here through pixels, but that's definitely hot pink. I can tell by the purple flame that that is a definite hot pink color, which is on the right horn. So it would make sense if that is what this is.
Which no pink here, so.
Yeah, I agree. And people also asked, or fans also asked, why this truck has, out of all the others, BKTs when this one does not. And the answer to that is actually
That's obvious.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of reasons, but the main one we were able to factor out, even though I don't believe at the time it was actually BKTs that were on the truck, was that the truck, when it first debuted, ran orange beads on gray rims without the purple flame. So here's the historically accurate versus not, again, playing out once more in this Yellow Toro Loco. So there's a couple things that aren't, correct about it. These could be fixed in final production. I don't know. All I know is that this is a very early sample, that many things in this could change. Another thing I kind of was wondering was that this here is actually pretty much a direct repeat of what we received in Series 17, which is now again in stores. So I'm hoping that we'll get like a change up on this, because this is a little odd that out of a pack of these we're repeating, which we've never done. Everything has been exclusive to their individual packs. So hopefully maybe some red rims will get tossed on here just to differentiate it, make it a little different than the previous one. But I'll leave it now. I know Phil probably will have some opinions on this. So Phil, what do you think about this pack here?
What does this have to do with Tyler Remieres?
Well, we're just having an open discussion because I feel like I don't know if there's anything.
We're good.
Learn about Tyler. I have like 12 more questions.
Oh, you have 12 questions? Okay, fine. Then we'll come back to this.
I'll talk your face off.
With that being said, Tyler,
yes, sir.
You're a fan, and I think something really cool about you is that you served in the United States military. What made you want to join the military and talk about some of those experiences?
Well, oddly enough, originally, I've always been to monster trucks. I wanted to turn wrenches on them, which oddly enough, I'm still not doing that. My grandpa suggested, hey, you should join the National Guard and work on Humvees. I was like, it's a good idea, kind of get my name out there, serve my country. A lot of people respect that. Kind of get my foot in the door. Outside of my artwork, which, not to steer this out of the military, but a lot of people don't know this. All those trucks that I draw, the real trucks, that is, Gunslinger, Gravedigger, Jurassic Attack, you name it, I actually give those away in pit parties to the actual drivers. And the reason why I do that, I just give it to them as a thanks for putting on a show and putting their bodies through the crazy physical demands to put on a show for us. So it's kind of like my way of giving back to the community. And to kind of help with that, to get into, monster trucking a little further, because I like turning wrenches, my grandpa suggested join the National Guard. Well, I graduated high school. I'm not much for school, just being honest. I know how to paint stuff and model, and school is just not my thing. Leave that all to Ryan.
I knew that.
Oh, you, dude.
I knew that was coming back to me.
Self-taught artwork over here, but I just make something of myself and not stay stuck at the grocery store. Or store, not sure. I figured I just joined the United States Army. I wanted to be a mechanic. Unfortunately, the Humvee job wasn't available, so about to walk out the door, and then the Apache helicopter job popped up. Didn't even know what an Apache was. Showed me a little video and just flying around shooting stuff. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I signed up and took that. First duty station, it's funny how this all ties together. First duty station, I went to Germany. And I spent a lot of time in the barracks, which is kind of like a dorm room at a college, Yeah. So I took advantage of that time to really perfect my artwork, because I did a lot in high school, and it just, it was I get to really take time and really learn it while I was in Germany. And Germany is just amazing. Europe's amazing. You guys can never travel there, by all means. It's a totally different atmosphere. The Autobahn's the best part. There's no speed limit. You just rent a car and take it out and go. I got 2 deployments to Afghanistan, and then came back. I did a little bit of recruiting, and then I just spent a year in South Korea, and now I'm back in Tennessee. As you can see the hobby room around me and the house I just bought. It's coming together. The big blank spot right here. There's 2 more display cases that are showing up, but they have to be custom built because of COVID and all that other stuff. They kind of fell off the bandwagon. Well, not bandwagon, but they fell off the wagon on production, so I got to wait like a month and a half to really fill it up on the wall. But yeah, I've been in the Army. It'll be 12 years come November. At this point, I'm just gonna stick it out till I hit 20. I'll get out at 38, and then I'll go pursue the monster truck stuff. Free healthcare, which is kind of important in this sport.
Yep.
So,
What a guy.
we'll see how it goes, and then whenever the trucks come to town, I try to just say, hey, I'll help out. I helped the Cretans 2 years in a row in Nashville, 2014 and 2015. That was a great experience. You get to really learn, it's a lot tougher work than it is, especially when you're working for Jimmy, who likes to jump stuff, break a champagne glass, get to 4 in the morning, pit party at 8 a.m., and then do it all over again and break a third member. And it's just like, oh my God. Yeah, you learn a lot. It's a big eye opener. So it's funny how just all ties together. It's just, I don't know, it's been a great experience so far in my personal life.
Well, I definitely, everybody always says it, but I genuinely appreciate that, your service, and, that's a lot of sacrifice to do a lot of that. And,
I missed all the World Finals. Like, what the heck? That's why I can only go every other year.
It's hard. The heck with Christmas. You missed the World Finals. That's horrible.
Yeah, I don't care about Christmas, but monster trucks, we got a problem.
Yeah.
So, you're working on these trucks. Do you have an end goal? Do you want to actively be there? It is. Got the mind blower on screen here. Do you have an end goal to be in the industry or work with monster trucks? 'Cause I know a lot of people always ask this. They want to be drivers. They want to do this and that. What's your path, or do you have that interest?
I really don't know. Working for the Cretans was a huge eye opener. It'd be cool to drive one, but I talked to a lot of guys being in the Army and whatnot. You just kind of keep it real, adult to adult. I'm like, hey, is it worth it? Is it not? Blah, 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 blah. It's pretty physically demanding. And when I'm 38 and I retire out of the Army, I don't know where I'm going to be at that time point. But one thing's for sure, I'm probably never going to stop drawing these. I'm never going to stop painting trucks. It's never going to stop. I'll always be a fan at the end of the day. And I always try to support the drivers as best as I can by giving them gifts, whether it's artwork, die-cast, etc. One of those things. But when they do come to town, at minimum, if I know somebody, I will offer to help. And that's the biggest thing for trying to get into the sport, is just offer a helping hand, because a lot of these guys, especially independents, they can use all the help they can get. Monster Jam, they're straight. They got hired help. But indies, not so much. And that kind of helps get your foot in the door. Carry a good head on your shoulders. Just be willing to learn, help out where you can, not complain. And it's pretty much going to take off from there. I mean, you look at Alex Barden. That's how he did it. He got in with Outlaw, and he's just a crew guy for 3, 4, I think maybe even 5 years, maybe even longer. And now, next thing you know, he's tearing chassis down to the bare frame, getting them sandblasted, repowder coat, and building them all back up. And now he's driving a truck. What is it? El Oso Loco, I think it's called.
Yep.
I think he's driven Outlaw. I think he's driven Thunder Chicken. He's running the whole thing now while Michael does his race car stuff. So it goes full swing. It's like anything else. What you put into it is what you get out of it. You just have to have a good attitude and have the drive. And
that's the biggest thing where I don't think a lot of people realize the amount of work that goes in. It's said so many times.
Yeah.
I get so many people that, I'm sure maybe Ryan can attest to this too. People that message me specifically how do I get in the industry? Or specifically, how do I become a driver? Every single time it's how do I get to drive El Toro Loco?
Everyone wants to do that.
That's such a loaded question. Question to ask, and I don't think people truly understand that. Even at a younger age, I guess I realized just kind of compared to a path. That's why I always ask people well, what's your path? I'm how are you? Yeah. The biggest thing in some, especially with monster truck, there's a lot of people just want to get involved. But what makes you different than everybody else? Because you're a fan. Yeah. We're all fans. What else are you doing?
Sometimes when I hear that question, depending on who it's coming from, the derogative of it, I almost get offended. Yeah. Mainly because, again, I've been in this for 17 years now. I started out in 2004, mainly getting into this. You got people like Mark McDonald, Becky McDonough that crewed for over a decade. Cody Saucier. Yep. It took them over a decade of blood, sweat, and tears wrenched on these things. I know what it's like. It's tough work through the wee hours in the morning trying to crunch to that pit party. And then they finally got in the seat. And just to hear somebody come out of nowhere and Roy, I do get in the driver's seat. Some of them just honestly don't know, and then some I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way. But it's a lot of work. You can't just come in there and get to it. The comments are really wanting to get into these trucks. So where do you guys want to start?
I do want to just say real quick, because he's one of the main guys, and I know we all know him. I've never seen him in our comments before. So I want to say hi to Tim, Silent Toy Man, who just popped in.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
I know you guys would probably want to say hi. So
He's a
hi,
funny
Tim.
guy.
Sorry, that was a while back. Yeah, that was a while back now, but I just want to make sure it got mentioned. Phil, anything else on? We keep going.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to ask Tyler questions.
No, you're good. I don't want to bore people,
Yeah. No, because you're the guest, unless like you're trying to hack our stream or trying to be a pretender. But
look how many people in the comments are saying they're the ones hacking the stream. So I have no idea what's going on.
I ain't smart enough. I didn't even go to school. I stopped at high school.
It's just people don't know what to do with themselves. It's maturity. But
until it happens, I wouldn't worry about it. And let's just drive on with the podcast.
Exactly. So you're Ryan should grow a mullet. Okay,
I'm here for
that.
That'd be hot.
I can see that. I'll grow one out when
we'll get to random questions later.
No more Jimmy Neutron here.
So
you're not the only one who's called me that recently, and there's someone. Actually, the person who called me that is watching right now, so I hope that
she kind of does look like that, though, Tyler. You're kind of right.
I'm actually texting
Thanks for telling me that.
I can talk smack. I'm involved. Okay, so whatever. I got some envy going on. Look, it's all shiny and whatnot, like my die cast. Man, he's not even paying attention. All right.
No, I'm texting the person that called me that and just said I got called it on air, and I'm just embarrassed because I was so upset the first time, and now I'm even more upset the second time because it's by Tyler. I'm kidding.
Oh, you gotta post that OCD mullet down. That's funny.
Ooh, okay. Whole podcast crew should grow mullets. I tell you, my hair gets real wavy, so like it does curl up in the back. But to get to mullet length, that's like another. RJ undoubtedly could do.
I've had one before. I actually trimmed it off. So yeah,
I mean, out in that part of the country, that's like a national pastime. So
I used to have hair past my shoulders. I just
really,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how it turns a hair podcast, but this is the longest I let my hair really get until I cut it off. So I don't know if I'm gonna grow a mullet. Fan suggestion, I don't know. We'll see. I'll leave it to RJ. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's really a California look. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know if California.
Yeah, it's more
Northern California look, maybe.
I guess.
I don't.
Yeah, mustache.
I don't know if Los Angeles is the style here right now. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, back to Tyler. Let's get off the hair topic.
Yeah, then we can talk more random here. But there's a couple I wanted to hit with Tyler, and I think it's what a lot of people know you for, especially currently. Is like people follow you on Instagram or like they used to follow you on Facebook or wherever, and they would see all the cool things you're doing. And I think, when I first met you, how many years ago, you were doing the drawings. And, like everybody's always drawing stuff. Like you see like the kid, it's like, look at my drawing. And it's like on like a napkin and everything's all over the place. Like, yours is like actual drawings. It's not like placemat at Denny's. Like they're real pieces of art.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
How did you, did you want to be an artist? Like, what made you all of a sudden to be like, I'm going to draw like the best monster truck drawings possible?
Well, I actually started out drawing NASCARs.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
I moved to Arizona when I was 13 from Rhode Island. My grandpa got me into NASCAR. I've always liked to draw. Art kind of runs in the family a little bit. I've always liked drawing. And then when I got into monster trucks, I was like, well, I want to draw schemes that don't exist.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing them and doing them and doing them and doing them. And then I started giving them away. And then people started noticing it, which motivated me to keep doing them. And then I started giving them to friends, and then they were liking them, and then more people were seeing them. And this is back in the MySpace days, mind you. If anybody,
I remember that.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I wanted to perfect them. I'm a perfectionist. I just how can I get better? I still critique the heck out of them. They're not 3D, so I still think they're poo-poo, but it is what it is. But I try to just a goal of mine. I want them to be as realistic as possible. So when you look at it, with the graphics and whatnot, with the matching chassis underneath it, that, hey, this is what it would look like in real life. So with that said, every show I've ever gone to, I've gone to the pit party. My buddies kind of make fun of me. I carry a camera around. I take a picture of every single nut and bolt, bar, you name it, measure stuff on every single specific chassis possible. Because I don't like to make what do you call it? Like not copies. I don't know the word for it. But you got a CRD, a Patrick chassis, a concussion, a racehorse, and then every single one of them has the engines, the headers, all the wiring, the plumbing laid out differently, and I try to take pictures of all of that. So if I ever do draw the truck down the road and the driver gets it, it's dead accurate. And believe it or not, it's actually worked. I took an Outlaw to the World Finals, and Michael Harper actually took my Outlaw, walked around the back of his truck, looked in the radiator at the blue hose, and he's like, "What in the heck?" Well, you know, his Texas accent. He's like, "What in the heck? I didn't even know my lines were routed like that. How did you even what?" I was like, "Well, I just searched the internet and found a lot of pictures throughout the build process, and I just try to match it as best as I can." So they do notice. So now it's like, well, now it's written in stone. They have to be accurate every time. So I don't know. I just try to make it as best as I can.
So from start to finish, drawing, like, what's the timeline, and like how long is that timeline from starting the drawing to it's done, it's ready to go?
On average, about 50 to 60 hours.
Wow.
A lot of that depends on the bodywork. Like Ryan's meltdown truck, that body took me about, I want to say somewhere around 12 hours.
Okay, yeah, you had it before. Here's your Instagram.
I just want to show everyone, and I'll pull him up on screen as he talks about him. 60 hours sounds like a lot of time, but look how, in my opinion, as someone who's actually trying to be an artist, look how detailed it is. 60 hours, it doesn't. Usually, this would take much longer for many other artists. So he's perfected it and made it in such a way that he's very quick in terms of like detail compared to time spent drawing. You know, that's what I'm trying to prove a point here. It's just amazing how much he does in 60 hours, in my opinion here. So sorry, you can continue talking. I'm just throwing them some of your artwork. So there's the OCD melting you just
Incredible
mentioned.
stuff.
Yeah, I just don't want to talk over you. It's tough too. Like unless you see the drawings in person, not toot my own horn, but the scanner doesn't pick a lot of the colors up. Like when you get your OCD meltdown in the mail, I'm not gonna lie, your jaw might drop a little bit. The green is so much brighter than what the scanner picks up, and all the highlights and stuff. It's just like the drivers know. Barry Musauer actually has more of my artwork than anybody out there. I think he's got 6 or 7 of my trucks now. I just mailed him 2 more. He got my Zombie Hunter and my Rampage. I almost cried mailing that Rampage. But yeah, I don't know. I just have a lot of fun doing it. It's just like the scheme's already out there. I want to make something of my own. Like this being a die cast, I was like, well, I want to see what it would look like in like a realistic form to my abilities, because I ain't seen anybody Photoshop it on an actual chassis or anything. So,
no.
And then us being friends, obviously, I'm like, I've got to put that in paper because it's just bright green, and I got to do my own little spin on it. Which, to your request, I made it accurate. But I want to make it tour accurate. So it's kind of like we kind of just meet in the middle, you know. Hopefully, you're happy with the outcome because it doesn't have the green wheels and stuff, or tires. But
no, I'm definitely happy with it. I wanted to see what it would also look like on a CRD Monster Jam chassis. I think it's amazing, really, because it's like and there's his mug there too.
Prototypes.
When I think back on this whole project, and this drawing really made me reflect on it, it's just amazing to see how far it's really come, and to the point where people are drawing it and spending 60 hours on a drawing of this truck that just recently came out and that I've worked on for a whole year. And I was worried that no one actually, well, a majority of people probably wouldn't like the bright green on green, you know, but I'm so glad, you know, Tyler and everyone, mostly for the most part, enjoyed it. And it really enjoyed the green color. So, you know, just seeing the drawing, hearing you say how the green really stands out in person, all that stuff, it just makes me reflect on all those different decisions that Taylor and I went through, from the most precise Pantone color choices to the macro, you know, micro and macro details. It all came together, and the drawing really just put it all into perspective for me. And yes, I agree. We worked very closely on how it should look. There were a couple of discussions actually, because something I never actually revealed to the world, and because we didn't end up doing it, was that this monster here was actually, I wanted to put the glasses there, but we just never got it done before the final artwork went in. And Tyler,
I wanted to, you told me no.
No, not this one, for the diecast.
No, I asked you about it though.
Yeah, hold on. So what happened was when Tyler was drafting this, I told him that was my original idea, that we didn't run with it, and he wanted to do it on his drawing. But in the end, I really wanted to see what it would look like accurately drawn on a chassis, so we didn't go with the alternative scheme. But I'm more than happy with how it turned out. It's phenomenal. I think everyone agreed with that when I posted my story and shared it, and he shared it, and even Taylor is in love with it. So it's just super awesome, and I thank you for that, Tyler. It's an amazing piece, and I can't wait to show it in the display that I have of all these different OCD meltdown drawings from fans. So
And-
yeah, awesome
course.
stuff there.
And I do want to like get the comment section a little involved in this. It was just us talking, just to address some of these questions.
Yeah, I was gonna pull some of these up here.
Somebody
Yeah.
how you draw them and stuff.
Yeah, it says Tyler.
Okay.
Do you have a drawing stylus from Jose Vargas?
So I draw the body, and then I fit the chassis to it, but it's all lightly drawn with lead pencil. And then I erase the lead pencil, and then I follow it with a ruler and colored pencil. So the truck is 100% colored pencil. Some of these other questions, no, there's no chassis templates. It's all ruler, and I do have a measurement I use. I find the center line on the cradle, and then I have measurements I go off of section by section to make sure every single CRD chassis specifically is even to the next, and stuff like that. 6 hours a day, be 10 days. I actually draw these last 20 trucks I did in Korea. They were drawn. Saturday would be day one, and I'd start about 9 in the morning and finish 10, 11, sometimes midnight at night. I'd finish the body and get the chassis started, and then Sunday would be the same thing, another 12 to 14-hour day. And then throughout the week, it'd just be a couple hours out of the day just picking at it. So about every week and a half, I was finishing the truck. But yeah, this is all 100% colored pencil. It starts out with lead pencil to get the basic outline, but it's drawn very lightly, and then I go over it in colored pencil and erase the lead as I go. There used to be lead, and I leave it, but to make it cleaner, a little more realistic, I figured out, hey, let's get rid of the lead, just like anything else, experimenting with these. And now it looks, in my opinion, a lot cleaner with no lead outlines. So
what happens if you make a mistake?
In regards to?
Is when you're drawing, like you would just use the eraser? Because I feel like there's a lot of detail here that maybe just a pink eraser is not going to get it done.
I use a clay eraser, but it only picks up so much. So if it's hard to say if I make a mistake because I've never really made one. Not bragging. Not bragging. Not bragging.
No, that's impressive. That's
You
impressive.
can back it up,
Impressive.
honestly, if you look at the work.
A lot of it, like I'll do the entire, like the body is the only part I'm gonna mess up on.
Mhm.
The chassis, it's right now it's so redundant. It's just easy. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
The body work though, every scheme is different from the next. That I have to draw with pencil very lightly the entire scheme. So it kind of gives me like it's kind of like a coloring book. So I'll do like all the outlines of everything with a very lightly drawn lead pencil, and then I'll go over it in colored pencil as I go, and then fill it in with all the shadowing and the blending and all that stuff. So I use Prismacolors, and they're pencils that blend. So if it's the chassis, if every now and again I'll like when I'm drawing all the tubes, I might have some black pencil that goes out a little bit, and it's like, oh dang. I'll try to erase the crap out of it, and then I'll cover it with a white gel pen. His background's white.
Yeah, I think that's what we were kind of searching for. If you like mess up where there's negative space, how do you fix that? White gel pen. That's pretty. I didn't know that's happening. I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, like if you look in the floorboard area where it says CRD and VP, all that white right there, that's all gel pen, just to make shine. But
oh yeah,
like, you'll see it when it shows up. Like in the scanned photo, it looks, in my opinion, awful. But when you see it in person, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Lexan. I always wondered how you got like these white details because white doesn't tend to blend super well on darker colors.
So I don't color that area. So it's going to be white or a shine. I don't color that area.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Then what I'll do is like the beadlocks, I'll leave the shine part of it white, and like for these, since they're green, I'll bring the green into it.
Okay.
And then I'll go over it with a white pencil, and it'll blend it to the center. And
yes, yeah. I've never had to have a verbal conversation with you about this because I'm trying to figure out all these things as I go along in art school and design school. So, these little tricks and stuff that you're doing, I always wonder how you got all these little things going. So just like that little bit. And now noticing that you probably did the same up here, possibly with the sun bringing the yellow into the white negative space and all these things. Wow, that's really impressive. And
I'll start at the sun, I guess. Mm-hmm. I thought it was like a moon or something. But
no, it's the sun.
Okay, I started out, I did a light lead pencil circle. I do use a circle stencil for the tires as a base to guide me. Mm-hmm. I went around it with green very lightly, and then I went hard yellow, and then I take the pressure off the pencil as I get closer and closer to the center, and then I'll go over it in white and blend it all together, and that's how it pretty much forms.
Yeah. I guess I'll propose a real quick thing. I know we'll probably have some more questions for him. So when you talked about how you do accurate chassis to like the final detail, you drew your first diesel recently, which was the double decker.
Yes.
Want to give us a little bit of a background on how you went about doing this and the trucks, obviously, that you were basing off of, which I'm pretty sure is Brodozer, but all that detail. How did you achieve this look, and was there any difficulty in drawing the first diesel? Because I know it's, again, the first time you're doing this, and it's not the same as every other truck you've done. So maybe a little bit of that on double decker.
Yeah. So kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier when Phil asked me this, I go around the pit parties and take a lot of pictures. So I was at the All-Star Challenge. I saw Brodozer for the first time, and I took so many up-close shots of that diesel engine like you wouldn't believe. Because I was hoping someday I would draw Brodozer.
Right.
And I just never deleted the photos because just in case. I got photos from like 10, 15 years ago, stuff I took. Because you never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, this was my last truck in Korea. I actually finished it 2 days prior to boarding the plane.
Nice.
I couldn't figure out what truck I wanted to draw, and Bob, Digger's Diecast, me and him are like best friends now. He was like, "Why don't you draw a double decker? That's different." I'm like, "Huh." And since it's got stacks on it, I'm like, "Well, may as well make it a diesel." I'm like, "What am I gonna do about? I don't have any pictures of diesel engines." I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, Brodozer."
Yep.
And I went sifting through it, and I'm like, "This can be done."
Yeah.
And then I hit you up. I was like, "Hey, can I get some close-up shots of it from the side profile?" And then you do what you do. You send me all the pictures of all different angles, and then I just study it, and I do just section by section. Generally, I'll start with the grill, and then I'll go to the hood, then the door, and work my way back. But this one, I actually did the outermost parts first. So I did the fuel barrels, and then I did the stack, and then I went from the hood back, and then the car was very last. This is a lot of fun. There's just so many different things going into it. The car, the diamond plate, the rust, the stack. What is that behind the stack? Like roofing, like metal roofing. I don't even know what the heck that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think it probably is metal roofing.
Probably tin
Yeah.
or metal.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what it was, but using your pictures, I just drew what I saw, and this is the second truck I've ever done with rust, and that was challenging.
Yeah, I know we talked a lot about it.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about it. You didn't love it, but
Yeah.
I think in the end it all came together, and it's very accurate to the diecast. And
Thank you.
I'm still blown away by this specific piece. I'm always blown away when you post something new, but the diesel engine, the way you did it, the finest little details, always, of course, but specifically with this case, it's just it's mind blowing. Really, I love this piece. It's one of my favorites that you've done for sure.
Well, go ahead, Tyler.
No,
I'm just amazed, like the detail you put into these things. If it didn't have a white paper background, you could think they're real. Like if somebody took this and moved it onto a Photoshop picture, they're that good. Like
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
It's that good.
I critique the crap out of them.
Well, I critique all my customs when I do them, and people say they're good. So we're on the same artist self-critique level here. All right, Phil, anything more to keep going on?
What's your yes, JC Luma has this great idea. What's your favorite drawing, or maybe your best? I mean, that could be two different trucks, but
I think we're looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's so many variables because to me, at the end of the day, the chassis, they're all the same. So for me, it comes down to the bodywork.
What about this one?
That Gravedigger. Yeah, the Christmas War Wizard.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm not a fan of it.
Really? After all that work, man.
The chassis, I think it's because the chassis is white that hides so much detail. In person, it's fine. But the body was pretty fun, but it hides a lot of detail because I don't do 3D work. Like behind the Santa is a big Christmas tree in the shape of the Pro Mod body, and the sleigh in the background with the reindeer and all whatnot, the snowman on the headlight, the peppermint wheel, the reef wheel. Like,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's actually pretzel headers,
Yeah.
Twizzler hydraulic lines. Like, it's a little more creative. I'll give it that. The Santa elf skulls, the naughty list with the
snowman.
The
Look
names
how cool
on it.
this is.
The tire covers, or each being different, is incredible. I love that detail. It's great.
I put eggnog on the fuel tank, gingerbread wheelie bar, and sway bars. Like I just try to get really creative with it. Show my creative side. Just have fun, you know.
I love it.
I remember
And then I
when
get War Wizard instead of a sword, he's like throwing a present. Like I don't know. It's just trying to get creative.
I like it.
I remember when you called me for this, and we went back and forth on how you should structure it. And I was just imagining how it would turn out, and then when it finally came all together, obviously I could see back and forth when you're working on it, but all together when it's scanned and finished, this still remains. I say this about every piece you do, but this still remains one of my top pieces for in terms of favorites by you, just because I love tiny details and I love always finding those little Easter eggs and different things, and yeah, I know, and that's why it's so great that you're the one doing these art pieces, because you can hide those details but make them extremely detailed in such a small size. I mean, the little Twizzlers and the eggnog and everything, really. But I just want to point out this peppermint wheel cover here. It actually looks like a real peppermint. I mean,
yeah.
I actually thought for a second you put a peppermint on your paper.
Never drawn one either.
That's
Not
how.
my own horn. I never drawn it. I Google image peppermint as a perfect image of it. So I just drew what I saw. I had to lightly pencil it, of course, and swirl it, but
yeah. And are these the bolts that holding the cover here? Are these two?
Yep.
Right
I stole that from the snakebite wheel caps.
Yeah,
I noticed they had a bolt on the top and the bottom. I was like,
Yep.
yep, gonna put those in there. So
Awesome.
I just recently saw these the new covers they put on the trucks at the pit parties now, and I saw those two bolts, and then now reminded me of that. So yeah, you don't miss any details. I knew that was probably what those were. I love this piece. This was still just so insane to see now, months and months later. I love the snowman in the front too, and yeah, that is a really cool one.
You want to know mine? My personal favorite.
Halloween Gravedigger, though, that's got some detail in it.
Yeah, I got a lot of people click on the Halloween.
I mean, Steel Striker's nice. I mean, they're all good, obviously.
Those pumpkins were not. Oh man, those were. And I only had to go off the Hot Wheels Gravedigger like background photo, and then the one fathead. I forget who sent me that. It was you or
I think it was
Neil.
Yeah.
And I saw that after the fact I finished it, and I was like, well, but
I mean, it looks the same to me. I mean, you got it.
yeah.
You recreated
Tried.
You recreated a Neil Vandenberg art piece or masterpiece as another masterpiece here. I mean,
he's a wizard. That guy is awesome. He's so fun to talk to as well.
Yeah.
He's great. He's good people.
My favorite drawing of yours was I think it was a ride truck. It was the Willys
full of sillies.
I love that thing. Look at it. Look at it.
Ryan was so pumped when he first saw that.
Yes, I was.
That's awesome. This is my favorite because everyone knows me. I love the loud colors. This is it right here.
That thing is so bright in person. That thing's fun to look at. I'm not gonna lie, that's fun to look at.
That's my favorite.
It's just
The
amazing.
challenging part was making every part of the truck a different pattern.
Yeah. This is insane.
Like every single seat cover is a different rainbow pattern. All the roll bar pegs a different color, and then every single letter is a different blend. And same with the bead locks and whatnot. It's just 4-link bars. Now I'm looking at it, but yeah, and it's got a Hemi in it. Can't hate on a Hemi.
It's got a Hemi in it.
It's got a Hemi.
I got a headache when I saw that Willys.
That was kind of the goal.
It's a tester, an acid for Blue Thunder 2003. It's like a throwback to an era of time here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sillies with the Willys.
Yeah.
That's the idea. It's a Willys carrying sillies. All the sillies sitting in the seats. Perfect.
Aha.
I don't know if you'd want to ride while you're going through something like that, but
yeah, imagine Dennis Anderson driving that. A Willys carrying a bunch of sillies. Yeah. Willys full of sillies.
This would be mine.
Perfect.
This is awesome. And it would just be shooting colorful lasers or something out of
someone
the top.
should do this. I mean, man, it would
Hot
be an
Wheels.
awesome concept. Yeah, probably Hot Wheels would pick this one.
We got cheeseburger and French fry trucks running
Yeah,
around.
but they
why
might
not Willys
put
full
a
of sillies?
toilet on it and be like flush.
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 Yeah, I love this one. I agree with Phil, and I know you were right. I did, I was really excited to see this when you first announced it and kind of conceptualized it, and then finally drew it. I mean, it's just so impressive again because I have now the artist brain to see all the different things that you had to do to achieve this, the blending, the pattern creation, and I am always blown away with it. But in this certain case, making every little pattern especially different in this one, it's so mind-blowing every time. But this one really is like up there in terms of it because you just made it so it's almost like it's moving, it's so fluid, and that's obviously what you're trying to achieve, and you did it masterfully here. I mean, it's an incredible piece.
Don't let me fool you. I was getting confused drawing it.
I don't think I could ever do something like this. That's pretty crazy.
I love it.
Hey, RJ, you have any favorites by him?
Oh gosh, I mean,
And kind of scroll around here.
man,
I
there's
didn't even know RJ knew of me.
What? Come on,
He does.
Tyler.
Of course he does.
Yeah, my bad.
I still have. Oh, I took pictures of my favorite customs you made in Vegas, and they're still on my camera roll, and I look at them all the time. But I mean, look at his Mad Dog. Modern Wild Hair is good. Obviously, any retro truck's nice to see. I mean, Tyler kills it. Whatever he could make a toast truck out of a piece of toast, and it would look.
Ooh, can you do that?
Where are we?
Shout out to that monster mutt. Just saying. The only time I've ever drawn colored tires. The only time.
Yep.
I don't know what the outcome is going to be with that. I've never drawn colored tires.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that they also put into the video game right after this happened too. You know, and kind of great. You might have inspired them a little bit here, but this was one of the most impressive blending because you're working with the color. I mean, you're working with two kind of monotone here with the black and white. Obviously, some color in the teeth and the logo and the collar, but
and all that hair is gel pen.
Yeah, I was about to ask now that we know that little secret if that was the case, and now I can actually see it, and it's crazy how the gel pen can create an effect of glare, but also blend very well when it has to come down to like fur.
The glare was actually white colored pencil, and then went over to gel pen.
Okay, cool.
I'm still trying to figure out the whole shining thing, but it's a never ending thing.
Honestly, one of my favorites of his is his own truck. Funny enough.
And it whites out the tire.
So that's your recent edition of the Savage truck.
That's my zombie hunter. Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, you're Savage. I know you've had a couple other different names and stuff, but how is this your flagship?
The truck, the name, or
this is you. Dennis has Gravedigger, Tom has Max D, you have Savage.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to be a controversial person, but I feel like I'm a controversial person. I got multiple personalities. I know to snap on people sometimes, like a savage. So it kind of just clicked. I just tell it like it is. I just live my life and keep it real. And I get told more often than not, dude, why are you such a savage? I'm like, I'm keeping it. Yeah. Yeah, this is my zombie hunter Savage. I always wanted Savage to be a front engine truck. And I was like, I'm going to draw it as a front engine truck. And then one day I was like, let's modify it and make it a zombie hunter first. Yeah. So I kind of made it like Bounty Hunter, where I chopped the body and narrowed it. You can't see it because it's a side profile, but got the crazy towers. I got the exo cage on it, and then the machine gun to shoot all the zombies on top. It's just, I don't know. I had fun with it. That's all there is to it. Just had fun with it.
Yeah, I just want to cut in real quick. No, you cannot call me. Whoever this is that keeps spamming the comments, you cannot call me.
You're gonna tell that he's busy? We're live, buddy.
I just saw my account commenting. That's what drew me back into the comments here. I realized someone keeps want to call me. No, you can't. Anyway, back to it. You also did. This is another really cool thing because I know it just hit. The Galaxies have just been announced, and I know you wanted to try doing your own. And this is actually a front engine edition of the truck. How did you achieve all of this level of purple and glitter effect? You got the glitter clear coat into the final product, even though it's paper and pencil. I always have wondered how you do these little things like this.
Yeah, so this one was treacherous because I'm doing the Galaxy, and it's a blend of violet, pink, 2 different blues, and purple. And I'm just going crazy, swirling it and blending it and going crazy. And I'm like, this looks like crap. And then I pull out my gel pen and just polka dot the crap out of it. And I sit back and I'm like, oh my God, it looks like a Galaxy now. And that's really it. And I just section by section, shred by shred, I should say. And this one's pretty cool. I know the Gears and Galaxies doesn't have any skulls or anything in it, but since my truck has skulls, I switched all the skulls out for alien skulls. Mm-hmm. So all the heads are actual aliens. And then just for wild card, I threw some asteroids flying through the galaxy, and then I changed the font to meet a space font.
Yeah.
And that's really it. And then obviously I got to match the body parts like B-locks and the 4-links, drive shaft loops, all that stuff to it, just to keep the theme going. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. And this one was after I took I think 2.5, almost 3 months off, and I was like, I'm done drawing. I'm gonna try digital. And then this Gears and Galaxies comes out, and it just motivated me. Oh my God, these things are incredible. I gotta draw one.
Yeah, I've loved the Gears and Galaxies so far. I think a lot of people have, especially since they brought one to real life, and seeing that truck in person with the candy purple and the metal flake clear coat. It's something to see really in person. Even if you don't love that they did like a dog as a space dog, just the color, the way Jim McKay did the airbrushing of the stars and stuff. It's a piece, really. It really is amazing. And I hope that they'll bring more of them to real life, hopefully.
Especially Gravedigger. I'm not a Gravedigger fan. I think we all know that, but that Gravedigger looks incredible.
Ryan, I got a couple trucks I want Tyler to talk about.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
We can mention Bulldozer because it's really nice. Okay. What about it, Tyler? Is this like a old school brought new school?
All right. So real quick with this one, what's the other truck you have questions about?
Demolitioner. Did I say that right? And Lone Eagle.
Demolisher. Okay. All right. So we'll just talk about this one. So I originally drew the Zombie El Toro Loco, and then
there it is.
Yeah. If you'll notice, everything is identical. Like I measured absolutely everything. I just always wanted a bulldozer in my collection. That's what it comes down to.
I like the little red in the rims, a little throwback to the wheel covers. Yeah.
And the only difference between this one and El Toro Loco body wise is I add the ear. I wanted the original look.
Yep.
There's that.
Lone Eagle and Demolitioner. Did I say that right?
Demolisher.
Okay.
Which Ryan's got some funnies about that one.
Yeah.
So Lone Eagle, I'm actually friends with Dale Mitchell's daughter. We've been friends since 2013. She's been harassing me for years to draw Lone Eagle, and I'm like, I want to make something one-off. I could never think of something that hasn't already been taken. And then finally, after like a decade, it clicked. Like a red, white, and blue eagle, and then I'm going to put it on a black and white flag background. And then, of course, it's got to be a Dodge Ram. I'm a big Mopar guy, so naturally it just came about.
It's an amazing take on Lone Eagle, honestly. Like if that was ever brought back, that would be a perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They all loved it, which makes me happy. It's always a good day when the drivers like it.
And then what's the story on this one?
So, a long time ago, back in 2004, this is one of my first trucks I ever drew as it was called Team Demolition. And then I drew a Nomad. It was supposed to be Wrecking Crew. They didn't like the idea. So I called it the Demolisher. So I was on this kick in 2019 2019 before I went to Korea. I was on this kick. Like, what if I went and time traveled 2004 with my current talent and redrew all these original trucks again?
Ooh, yep.
So I pulled this truck up out of my binder, and I saw it was Team Demolition. It was a Nomad. I'm like, I'm going to redraw this as Demolisher. And so it's supposed to be a Demolition Derby Nomad. So you look at like the red trim. That's where all like the Nomad trim is. It's all ripped off. And all the chrome trim is ripped off. You can see all the rust that's going around it. And then if you zoom in on it, you'll see like Just Say No, Ford's X'd out, and then the back.
I can only zoom so far. This is as far as I can zoom.
Go to his profile and look at it, folks, if you want to.
And then on the back side, it says it's got a Chevy emblem with a thumbs up and just goofy stuff. And then I got like the wire mesh for like the windshield, the big bar that goes out the back of the cab, and then the mock headers, but they're not functional, they're just for looks. And then the chassis is all one off, and then the front tire is, believe it or not, an actual saw blade.
Oh, I didn't notice that till now.
Yeah, everything on the chassis is rusty. So, yeah, it's supposed to be a saw blade. I figured the Goodyear cuts makes a perfect saw blade in the side. I've never seen that done in a monster truck before, so I figured why not make it a first?
Yeah, I like how you put the cage all the way down where the Lexan would be.
I was going to say that, yep.
Oh, the mesh? Yeah. I mean, Lexan windshield, Lexan floorboards, but since this is all like wire, like you see in Demolition Derbies, I had to make it all match. Even the back windshield is the same way.
Yep.
I even got the bar bumpers on it.
I love that you paid such close attention to detail with everything you did here, that even the Firestone lifted 3D areas are noted inside of just the finest little detail of the paint here. And then even, because I've seen so many trucks in person over my time now, even the stitching of the fiberglass is accurate to how they actually stitch fiberglass. Just every little thing always is amazing. It's like every time I see his artwork, there's something new to pick out, and that's what I've always loved about your drawings and just things in general. You know, there's always something that really, if they're really detailed, you can always come back to it and see something brand new. It's always the case with every truck he does, especially with customs like this. Like I never knew this was a saw blade until now. It took me a second to kind of zoom out and see that, and that's. You know, that's such a creative thing that your mind put that together and was like, okay, let's do a saw blade on a rusty truck because the Firestone sidewall looks like that. So You know, that
For anyone-
was amazing. I have to ask, though, I'm sure I know the answer is going to be yes. Did you take some inspiration from the Mattel, the demolition style? Or no, you just went with your own? I mean, because either they
Nope.
copied, I think they probably just copied
They
yours.
copied him.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they did it first. And for anybody wondering about this truck, the reason why it's numbered 56 is because the body is a 56 Nomad.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Savage 2019 is also probably one of my favorites he's done ever. Just because I like Chevy body.
Do we have? A
Oh yeah, that was the first time I drew a truck in like 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah. Okay, there it
Yes,
is.
I love that thing. Love it. And I'm an orange guy.
Hey, look at it.
Yeah.
And my RC truck matches it.
Yeah.
There's the RC. Actually, we should probably talk about that real quick. So there's the RC of it. While my printer decides to just like calibrate.
Hey,
So
real
here's-
quick,
Yeah.
can
go ahead.
I pause for like maybe 1 minute?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right, what do I do? Just hit stop cam?
Oh, I'll take you off. You're good. Yeah.
Hey, Phil, you want to tell these people about Kevin Harvick's car this weekend in Nashville?
Well, I mean, you know, spade to spade. Listen, it's public knowledge. NASCAR releases entry lists, preliminary entry lists, the Monday before the races, and you read the entry list, and Kevin Harvick, driver number 4 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, has a very interesting sponsor. And now, if you've been watching the videos, they started hyping it last week, and now they're hyping it today. If you go to Stewart-Haas Racing, they've also got some cool hype videos. So, without telling exactly what's going on, I mean, you read everything. I think Wednesday is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, us being NASCAR fans, it's kind of like the collaboration we've always wanted.
Well, here's the thing, man. I mean, they're going to do a die-cast of this or what?
I hope.
I hope so, man. And then, okay, so like maybe if Brian doesn't know, in the world of NASCAR die-casts, the company that produced them, Lionel, you know, like the Lionel trains, they offer schemes and cars up for pre-order. Now, when you pre-order, you don't have to put a down payment down, right? RJ, you know how that works. You don't have to put a payment down yet. If
You can when you pre-order it, it is like them totaling up how many people want it.
right. So
And
like
that helps it meet quota. That helps it get made because
but that doesn't mean like you have to buy.
when it ships.
Yeah, right. So then, like if it meets quantity, then they'll send you a bill.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's actually a smart idea. Actually.
Well, that's important to know. Like, we're gonna find out more information as the next week or so if that it is even gonna be offered. Because I don't know, like with Spin Master and stuff. I don't know if it's allowed.
There may be something there the way can't do it.
Right.
And
I don't even know if that's allowed, but
at least some T-shirts need to be made.
Let me cut you off for 1 second. I'm going to bring Tyler back in. Tyler, just let you know I'm bringing you back in. We were talking about the reveal by NASCAR, which is obviously not revealed yet by Monstrum officially, that Gravedigger is going to be appearing as a car in the fleet, which I was actually surprised to see this morning. You know, I really thought that was going to be a more Monster Jam fleet related item.
You know, like to sidebar now on that, like I think the fan base gets so confused when like there's an announcement to be made.
Yeah.
Like, how many people like they're going to announce the World Finals? What?
No, I already know.
What? Like, I think people just get way too excited. Then they're like, "That's the announcement." It's like, what were you expecting? Like, you're expecting something so oblivious and obvious. Like, what? Like, I just see the guesses on a lot. This happens over time too. It's not just like this one thing. It's like anytime somebody has an announcement,
we literally just said what the announcement
is.
We just broke the news before it's broke. Come on now.
2 minutes before, okay. It's like, people are goofy. I just don't understand like people's expectations. Like, some of the guesses are just so out. Like they're announcing the World Finals. They're announcing the season kickoff. They're announcing the announcement. Like, what? Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, it's just
the announcement of Pit Party's coming back.
Like they're the big announce. It's like when Tyler Menninga. What's his big announcement going to be? Is he driving a too? Yeah. No, he's going to Wisconsin. Like, what are you guys? Like, what are you expecting him to say?
Just being a motorsports fan as a whole, though, it's the collaboration I always wanted growing up, and I finally get it. So
what is it?
Okay, well, so NASCAR put out their entry list for the Cup race this weekend, and Kevin Harvick has the sponsor listed for Kevin Harvick's car this week is Gravedigger.
That's cool.
And if you watch what Monster Jam social media has put up and Stuart Haas Racing, you kind of see where we're going here. So
And they're in my little hometown this weekend. Dang it!
So now you have a reason to go.
Sunday, yep.
Do you think they'll do hero cards? No, they haven't. They haven't really been doing that because like fans haven't really been. Fans aren't still allowed in like the garage area, so like I doubt it. But yeah, we were just talking about the diecast situation because
Lionel Spin Master.
Because the way just to reiterate again, the way that pre-order works, you need to like just commit, say like I'm interested in buying this. If first off, if it's even offered. Because we don't know if, like, because of the Spin Master toys, that you can even have a Gravedigger diecast, from Lionel Racing. But even then, like, just because it's being offered doesn't mean it's being produced. If anyone's a NASCAR fan, they know all the diecasts that are offered, and then there comes the big 2 or 3 weeks later, it says canceled. Like, not coming. Sorry. So that's why it's important. If we do get a Gravedigger toy, or not all NASCAR diecast, everyone's got to hit pre-order. Otherwise, we're not going to get it. And sorry, like, so just.
I've already had like $50 worth of money sent back to me because they canceled the diecast being made. So
yeah, that's even past that. It's a crazy world. Like, imagine a monster truck, like in this monster truck diecast land. It's like Ryan posts like, all right, like this is mix 18. Make sure you pre-order. And then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, it says, well, not enough people wanted Bro Camino. Sorry, no Bro Camino.
Yeah, that's technically how it is, honestly.
But. And that's the world of, and that's like where the world of prototype collecting would drive Ryan crazy because they make prototypes. A lot of this diecast they make prototypes of.
I'm good where I am.
I'm just trying to imagine like. Is this Gravedigger NASCAR going to look? How's it going to look different than a 24 DuPont car? Remember all the flames on the front?
Well, you know what? That's exactly. I don't know how it's going to look.
I don't know how it's going to look either.
So, no one's like a big NASCAR fan. Kevin Harvick's primary sponsor is Busch Light, a beer company. So, like, that's very not where Monster Jam has been like steering their ship for so many years.
He's got Mobile One too. So
yeah, Mobile One, Hunt Brothers,
and Jimmy John's is still there right now. Hunt Brothers Pizza, some other folks, but yeah, like Busch Light's like his main primary. So that's why it's kind of like.
It's interesting that car was picked, but I mean,
it's a very weird. I mean, like, it could have been associated with a driver that's not associated. I mean, things have changed where Monster Jam is pointing their arrow, but that's just like we haven't associated with beer and monster trucks
since the 90s.
Tyler was a wee lad in diapers, so
Penda.
It's been a while.
Yeah, Penda. Budweiser, Tractor Pools, Redneck.
We'll find out in a couple days.
You got to take that money you can get it. Rednecks always pay.
Yeah, that's fine. I can as one. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, motion seconded.
Let me. I'll ask one more question to Tyler. I wanted to get in, and then we can ramble some more on just random stuff. We were talking about a lot of your drawings. That's what you're known for a lot too. We're showing yours. But you do the custom toys, and we see that massive wall behind you. Like, we know you're a toy collector, but like you take it to the next level, and like we're looking at the backwards bob you did here. Like what goes through your mind like when you're just making a custom? Because like you've gone, especially if anyone watched your stories this weekend, like you don't like discriminate. Like it seems like everything you take apart, you put back together in some way.
He's talking about the Halloween. What he's talking about is the Halloween Gravedigger that you dismembered.
I mean, or the Hot Wheels truck. Like you travel, like you find, it's like you almost find something to do with it. Like
that truck is so underrated. Nobody looks at this thing. I sanded it off.
I love that one. That's one of my favorites.
I had to sand so much off those the BKTs and the knobs off those tires. It was ridiculous. And then come to find out this weekend, I can swap Hot Wheels Goodyear tires over. I'm like, dang it. That's all hand painted.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I look at trucks and I'm like, there's got to be a way to bring the life out of these.
Yeah.
And I got OCD and I'm a perfectionist. And people, this truck's so funny. You look at the rear shock and there's yellow splotches all over it. And people are like, what's up with that? If you look at the real truck, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Really? We're looking at Demo Derby here, but this is on a Spin Master truck.
Yeah.
Well,
I just like their chassis. They look more realistic than the Hot Wheels to me.
Oh, absolutely they do. 100%.
And once I saw those, I was like, wow, I can really paint the crap out of these. Because I'm so used to doing scale modeling on the 124 scale trucks. And then these came out, and I'm like, the time I can paint one model, I can do like 24 of these trucks. And I have so much fun with them. My favorite part is painting headlights. And it's funny he's going to zoom in on that. But
yeah, I was going to say, so obviously I was going to do headlights on most of their models, and this was all done by him and hand painted. So that's a great note there on that. I didn't even, I was just my obviously detailed eye was picking up that. I was like, did he make a mistake there? But the real truck has that the way that is. So that's pretty awesome for that little backstory on that splotchy.
Yeah, and I looked at it. And trust me, while I was painting it, I was like, why did he do that? Whatever. And I just painted it.
I also love how areas are matte, like this. The headers are matte, and everything else is glossy. And actually, you know what? Tell us a little bit, because I know this is like a little no longer really secret anymore of the customizer community. But this chrome that you kind of gave it to the community, now everyone uses it for their own customs. Tell us a little bit about the chrome, because it's everywhere in your pieces.
Nice. So again, I come from a scale modeling background. 10 years of building bigger trucks. There's a Gravedigger and a couple other models like Raminator. That's my like forte.
Yeah. So
we use a chrome Molotov pen from Hobby Lobby, and it's the most chrome thing we've ever used. So naturally, to put it on a 1/64 scale truck, the chrome just pops out unbelievably because it's so small.
Yeah.
They even on like the 1/24 scale stuff, it's really chrome looking, but something like this, like the headers especially, like they come out so chrome. It's a perfect fit. And then they make them in 3 different sizes. So you can take the 1mm Molotov pen and it'll fit in the beadlock bolts perfectly. You get perfect beadlock bolts all the way around it. Like it fills it so nicely. And like, yeah, I don't like hoarding information. Like I want to spread the love. I can't make every single truck by myself. I can't. Like I want to see everybody make the best trucks they can, and we can all gawk at each other's stuff and just have fun,
Yeah, so like here's like our front engine Max D we're looking at here without the body.
Yeah, that was some work.
He made that himself, actually. That's,
2 chassis, a bunch of styrene tubing and square tubing to make the cradle and everything else. It's a little funky, but the way the chassis is molded, it's what I got to work with. So.
And this just to keep in mind, I believe this was before Spin Master's announcement of the 5-pack too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, he knew it was coming because he was an all-star, but he beat them to the punch here and made what would be now an accurate Max D. Obviously, the current Max D does not run the short pipes anymore; it runs the collector headers. But he made that off of what the normal chassis is, which has the collectors, and I think it's phenomenal how he went about it. And
the post before it, I think the post before you can see the build process of it. It's somewhere. Scroll down a little ways.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
It looks like a Hot Wheels like prototype when they do all the different colors. It's really cool.
At the top of the cage hacked off.
Yep. You can see all this modification here in the headers, and it's phenomenal how this came about.
Yeah, all the black was one frame, and that was what's left over after I hacked it up. And then all the white is all tubing that I added, and it's so crazy. You go from these big, humongous models down to these tiny little things. It's crazy. It's just fun. I don't know. I like doing this stuff in all different scales. I don't know. Fun.
As good as it looks, keep doing it. I love seeing it.
Yeah, I thought somebody's asking about 124s. Is there a 124 in here in that by any chance? Or
there's a Gravedigger, a couple of Raminators. My Jurassic Attack is pretty good. It's down a ways. Oh, there
I just saw the Punisher. There's a Doomsday here. I saw a Punisher from Muscle Machines that was in there as well.
There's a Hulk too that had to custom build the chassis to clear the Hulk arms.
Oh,
I got pictures of the build process for that too. The cage is like it's wonky. It's all like tall, but I had to do that to fit the body on it, or else it would dangle.
Punisher.
Hit the tires like. That was the first ever Muscle Machine swap, and I actually put a Muscle Machine's cage onto a Spin Master chassis. Like I hacked it all up. Like I don't think I got pictures of it.
There we go.
There it is.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, and if you don't remember the Muscle Machine stuff, I mean,
and the shock power
tubes were very loud and proud. Yeah.
Yeah, their cages were pretty detailed.
They were dominant. Yeah, they're very dominant.
Yeah, that's insane. I forgot how many he did. The portfolio of all the things he's done. I'm just kind of.
Yeah, that's what's incredible. Like if you see like that wall behind him, it's like there's all different types of trucks back there. It's like there's a green light right here with the AMP emboss.
Yeah. The first ever swap. Remember that, Ryan? The first ever green light swap.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, like here's
actually the other truck, but that was a fun one.
Like I said, trip down memory lane because he showed me all of these in private message when he was making them, and it's like I'm looking at all these and remembering how much work he's done and just seeing all of them in like a massive scale here. like
custom made grill. Yeah.
Yep, custom made grill on this Avenger from Hot Wheels before we had the S10 from Spin. All accurate to Jim's chassis.
Yeah, that looked really nice. Now I saw somebody was and here's you burning.
This is a controversial post when he.
Oh yeah.
Over this.
It was worth it for the photo op though.
Yeah.
Stuck in my fire pit. What up?
Yeah,
I thought the metal would be left over, but everything melted away.
Everything's gone.
Everybody's doing snow picks. I'm like, what about the fire trucks?
Yeah, let's see. Smelting toys here. I saw somebody a couple minutes back. They were asking. Oh, there's the Hulk here. There's the Hulk. Let's look at the Hulk here. Yeah,
those arms are so big. I had a
Cage.
chassis. That's
look at
all.
that chassis.
That's
Looks
all
like-
custom tubing.
Looks
The
like
whole
Frank
thing.
Bikini could stand up in that thing.
Yeah. But to fit that body, I had to. It just looks so goofy. But with the body on it, it's perfect.
It looks great with the body on it. You won't even notice
Yeah.
it.
So you
Yeah.
take the body off, and you're like, what the hell is that?
It's
Yeah.
like a beluga whale with a big head.
I saw somebody ask a bit ago about painting the shocks. I think that it's such a tight space, and I think a lot of people do it. But like, yours look very crisp. How are you succeeding in the shock painting game?
Yeah, my head. It's a big head.
All right,
So
I'll
this
put up
paintbrush-
the screen here.
This paintbrush is really curved. And I follow the contours of the shock tubes with it.
Oh my! It's a very steady hand. As now we're looking at
Steady
an
hand.
Inferno.
Yeah. Hand of
Yeah.
a surgeon.
So here's the Inferno, just painted black standard shocks. I mean, it's like something like we saw that demo derby earlier. That's like very like precise, like little splotches, or even just to get it from the black to the chrome. Like we're looking at the Inferno again. It's just very. You gotta have a steady hand.
Oh yeah.
The only
Was this,
Inferno I'll ever own, sadly.
Was this Molotov chrome here? It doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I wasn't using pens yet. That was one of my first swaps. That was just
Okay.
chrome silver from Model Master.
This one is
Yeah.
though. It's definitely Molotov. I can tell by just the sheen.
This
Yeah.
one I liked a lot.
This one's so awesome. There's so many. It goes on and on with how many amazing things he
Yeah,
did.
you're
There's
seeing
that
off a lot of
Jurassic
there's
Attack.
a
That's
wrecking
when you
crew.
put the shout out on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Put the
this
decals on, and then I airbrushed over it. The horns and the neck plate, that's 100% airbrushed
Really?
with like
What's
5
the
different colors.
standard
But,
color on that? Because that was an actual model kit, right?
yep, it's from AMT.
Okay, yeah. So were those just like white horns?
No, well, they come like a tannish plastic mold.
Oh,
So I airbrushed them tan, and I went over with the purple and the gold and the yellow and the bronze and the
Yeah.
brown. It was a big mix of colors.
no, it looks really. It looks. I mean, it fits better. That's. I don't think I've ever seen one like open or anything. So didn't realize that. So yeah,
That's
That's
tough.
cool.
That whole body is decals. It's,
really.
Yeah, it takes work. That one's tough.
Sure it does. Oh
Man,
man.
that wild thing. Oof.
Yeah. Wow.
No.
Thing.
Use some
There's
wild
so
thing.
many
Oh,
different
look at that
things.
Avenger with the windshield cut out for the mud.
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah.
sick.
Look at that.
Spare
Yeah,
no
and-
detail.
Absolutely not. Just like I said, going through this whole portfolio of what you've done over the last couple of years and seeing all the different things that bring back so many memories. Like I remember when you brought this to All-Star Challenge and they had they happened to have the backwards Bob prototype on hand and you compared them and pictured them, and everyone.
Jaw dropper.
Actually, I guess
Never
we should
found
actually. I think let's circle back to the All-Star Challenge. You brought your customs.
Yep.
And you actually got to meet the icon, Dennis Anderson, in a private meeting. I don't know too much about that whole meeting. So tell us, they brought you like the president took your stuff and then you were brought backstage. Tell us how that whole thing went down, from leaving our meeting to getting pulled into a private meeting with Dennis Anderson. Because not everyone gets that,
Yeah.
Don't tell too many
impressive
secrets
thing.
though.
So, oh man, I feel bad. Forget her name. She has the kid. Forget her name.
Are we Spin Master, you mean?
From the influencer meme, when she works for Monster Jam. Forget her name.
Oh, I don't.
Anyways, so she was like, "Oh my god, like these are incredible. Jamie's got to see these." I'm like, "Who's Jamie?"
There you are.
So we link. She sets up a thing with Jamie, and he comes out. He's like, "Hey, I'm the president of Monster Jam." We talked it up forever, and he looked at my trucks. He's like, "Oh my god." He's like, so you have to carry him around all weekend. You want to like, I got a private room, like somewhere safe where they can stay locked up. So I want somebody to look at him. Like, you mind if I store him? I'm like, there's a lot of trucks in there. If you jack my stuff, I'm gonna be upset. 'Cause you know how security is, like, gets crazy. He's like, I got you, man. Don't worry. Next thing you know, he's like, it's getting ready, like, I think an hour prior to showtime. He's like, hey, come in here real quick. There's someone looking at your trucks and he really wants to meet you. I'm like, okay. So I walk in there. There's Dennis Harrison, pulling my Max D front engine truck, and he's like, "How come there's no grave diggers in here?" I'm like, "Uh-oh." Yeah. So we started talking. He introduced me to Weston, and yeah, we talked for a good like 15, 20 minutes just about toy trucks. I'm like, this is surreal. Like, they're even thinking like these drivers, like Dennis, the king of trucks, like he doesn't care about diecasts. I thought, but no way. He thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And then he walked away with my Carolina Crushers, the felt exclusive one, which took me 2 years to find another one. But yeah, no, he ate it up. And I told him, I was like, neon green's really tough to paint. I got to do a whole batch of them and bring them to the dungeon, which I do stand by that.
You got to take a dungeon truck and make it into a Savage 1 version.
Yeah, there's a stack of grave diggers I got to do. They're sitting here behind me. I just didn't bring any. I got a Hot Wheels Grandma swap that came out really good, and I don't know what it is. I'm the only one that seems to paint the front yellow 4-link. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think Bob did one a couple times.
Yeah, I got on his butt.
I pushed him for it too because I noticed that one. This is we were talking to the president, Jamie, right here, and a couple others. Yeah. Oh, there's you on the track and stuff.
Such a good dude.
It was a fun time. This just all started happening.
That was the greatest Las Vegas experience I've ever had in my life. And I've been to probably 7 or 8 World Finals.
Look at this. This is crazy. There's you and everyone, most of everyone from the fleet and their families, and yeah, it looks so awesome. Man.
I owe all that to you, man. That would have been possible without you pulling me in.
I had absolutely nothing to do with getting pulled back and behind the scenes. That was all.
If he's not at the meeting, it doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to take credit for it, but the meeting led to this. But this was all done on behalf of Monster Jam and on behalf of Spin Master, who were very inspired and still are by Tyler's work, like I am. And I'm so glad that someone who's been a fan for as long as you have and dedicated so much time to this and into your customs and drawings and everything you do with Monster Jam, that they give you this experience, because that truly is what I love so much about doing my job as the influencer and everything else that we get to do with Monster Jam, is that things like this happen and make dreams come true. I mean, you said it was surreal to do this, and I'm sure meeting him in that format behind the scenes, it's just an experience that you'll remember forever, because you can't buy that. You can't. You can get on either. Like, you can get in the truck King Sling with him and drive around, but you can't have like that personal, candid moment where he's there and looking at your product, and saying this is so, inspiring and all this stuff. So it's awesome. It's just awesome. That's all I can say about this experience that you had. And I'm so glad that they allowed that.
I appreciate it, because I've never met him prior to this.
Yeah, I've never actually privately met with Dennis either. The only person that I really have talked to from the Anderson family is Ryan. So I've never actually got to meet with Dennis, Adam, Kristen, Weston, any of them. Yeah. So I'd love to someday. I'm sure probably at some point I will bump into him. But you got a once in a lifetime experience with the man, and I'm excited to see all the grave digger customs you do for him. And and I hope that Digger's Dungeons also. I'm sure you'll handle that perfectly. I can't wait to see what you'll pull out for that. Yeah.
A matter of time. I got a lot of stuff going on. I moved to a new state, new house. I got a Jeep back. It's only a matter of time when I go on this painting warpath. But these body swaps I did over the weekend was kind of motivating, especially with that flash fire. My God.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, I know a few people were a little heated over the Halloween gravedigger getting chopped up, but I think it looks much better on there.
Yeah,
I think if they got a problem with it, they should have bought it themselves. That's just me.
Yeah, I love what you do, and every time taking apart things. Although I know you still want to let me unbox an Inferno, but we draw a fine line there in the stand.
If you buy it, man, it's yours to do what you want.
I don't think
it's the only one you'll ever rip open in the world.
I don't think we'll ever get to that point at this point in time. I do hope that with all these different things coming out over the next year, I mean, this year we still have so many different things, like for instance the Rocker Station where Bob gave it to you and many other people. Now we have a real one, and just to imagine what you're going to do with that, also kind of comparing to Bob's and go through all that process. We have like Kraken and stuff. There's been so many things released, that are the highlights really of Spin Master so far. But what I really want to see, I can't wait till you get your hands on them and are painting again, are the Encore zombies. I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree that you can do so much, the fine airbrush detail in the arms that's missing from their standard models and different things. And then of course the biker zombie, which is my personal favorite, coming up later this year. Those are the ones I have high hopes for. But also, I guess OCD Meltdown at some point. I know I got to ship yours out, and I will get to it soon. I can't wait to see what you'll do with that. So there's just so many different things that on so many levels that I know you'll do soon at some point that I'm very excited to see again. But seeing those swaps was just, it brought like a smile to my face because I know that we're getting back to that, with Savage1Customs coming back, and hopefully this summer I'll get back into customs too. So yeah, it was really cool.
Just been away for too long. The last custom I did was September of 2019. It's just been pulling up inside me. So it's just, Rio was a long year. I'm glad it's over. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but then it does when you really look back on it.
We're all getting old.
It had its good points because I don't think if it wasn't for Korea, all those drawings that I did never would have happened. That was probably the best year I've ever had. And I also it's a little inside thing, but I broke my record of most trucks drawn in 1 year of 20 with 21 or 19 with 20. And it's just every single one of them came out, in my opinion, pretty good. It started out a little soft, and then it got harder towards the end. And ended with a double decker. So,
yeah, you topped it off. I mean, going back just real quick to that, for those who are just joining, I see a couple people coming in and out of the chat. This is what we were talking about earlier, double decker. Just the detail. Every time I see it, it's just incredible.
And I'm not done drawing either. I've got this figured out where I think I'm gonna make it seasonal, because you can't paint when it's cold out. So I'm gonna paint during the warm months, and then during the cold months, I'm gonna draw.
That's awesome. Well, you heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. There we go.
You live in Arizona now?
Not to toot my own horn here, but everybody's been asking for years. I am going to start selling trucks down the road. I don't know when, but I'm going to start doing them.
And I think you'll make a lot of money off it.
Well, it's not the money aspect. I just realized talking to people that, again, not toot my own horn or trying to brag or any of that stuff, but it's apparent that I've developed a talent and a skill over time that not many people have. If they want custom trucks to look pristine, they want just one or this or another, their favorite truck done up, why not? Why not paint it up for them? And they're going to be affordable.
Good.
Well, you're going to be getting business from me probably.
I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it, because I want to make a huge waiting list. I got people harassing for multiple trucks.
That's the biggest thing. A lot of customizers, they'll get as I've seen it so many times over the years, these great customizers come in and they start taking these orders from people, and it's just
like Terry Plum. Yeah.
Everyone knows Terry, man. I mean, gosh. Terry.
Monster Factory, man.
Yep. That's the OG right there. I think
I'll be right back.
Talked about Terry on here. Yeah, I don't know if we talked about Terry on here, where if everyone's seen his Dungeon to Doom custom.
Yep.
He painted the Wild Thing body.
Yeah, and when Wild Thing came back with Doug Charles 6-7 years ago now, he painted that entire body.
He sent me pictures of the body sitting on a stand in his garage, like he was airbrushing it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I got to see it in Vegas. That was awesome.
Yeah, he was such an art, and we just talk about customizers in general. Terry, man, I mean, I see a lot of great customizers. He made this Dungeon of Doom. Everything was 100% custom, except for the rims. He hand built the chassis. He shaved the tires down. It was when Tanyan's back on here. Tanyan has that custom. And he'll show it off, Tanyan Roof. Oh, man. Yeah, the thing is crazy.
And speaking of trucks like that, speaking of one-offs like that, I got to hand it to Silent Toy, man. That guy, he does a lot of old school and throwback stuff. He makes his own decals and whatnot. And did you guys see his Bigfoot 8 throwback race with Wildfoot? Man, he posted it recently. It's nice.
That's why I like seeing a lot of this stuff. And it's a lot of people.
Variety.
Yeah, variety.
I see a lot of people they'll just want to do the Monster Energy or whatever, which is of course everyone wants a Monster Energy for Carpet League.
Yeah.
But just getting creative, or just even I saw people saw your stuff from over the weekend, he did that custom with the generic orange truck, and then you chop the wildflower in it. Yeah.
Yeah. That Korea thing, or the metal mashers.
Yeah.
I saw purple on the body, and I'm like, I don't got a purple chassis liner. I'm looking at wildflowers sitting in my drawer, and I'm like, is that possible? The body's thin enough. So I took my Dremel to the hood. I started chopping it. I'm like, I think this is going to fit. And I chopped it out, set the body on it, and the shocks are sticking out of the towers. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned.
That look great.
Yeah, it really did.
It's good contrast, too. I just like the contrast of it.
Ryan, you'd have a wardrobe change here.
Yeah, I went to get water, but I figured.
Oh, what's this?
I was so rude to not
this?
wear the only other Savage crew shirt that's out there. He gave me this back in All-Star Challenge.
Yep, I saw the handover.
I had the chance to quickly change, so I put this on. I don't think I've ever worn it except for now. So this is the first
Wow.
time.
There you go.
I kept it in the closet so it doesn't get anything on it, just because I don't want to ruin it. Because only one of two in the world. So I'm trying to take good care of it. But yeah, this is my only chance to wear it. There it is again. There's a Savage crew shirt. It's got his info in the back there. I know you can't see it because I'm sitting down. But yeah, it's awesome.
It's orange.
Thank you again, Tyler, for that.
Oh, for sure. I'll have it on my. I'll be wearing it at my Nashville show in the evening on the 17th of Saturday.
Awesome. So for Nashville, I know I made some hints towards it. Then New Jersey also, they're all at the same time, but then Los Angeles was announced, and now
where am I supposed to go with all these events and stuff?
Yeah, I can only be in one place at one time. It looks like Los Angeles is going to be the place to be.
It's only going to get wilder. More events are going to get added here. Yep. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to start picking and choosing like the local events to go to. But I think Los Angeles is where I'm going to settle. Unfortunately for the East Coast fans, I'm going to be settling for Los Angeles just because it's my hometown show, and it's less on cost than flying across the U.S. right now, at least.
It's not traveling though. You're missing out on Nashville.
I know, but it's also being in the Staples Center after a good amount of time with the full capacity crowd in the state of California, which is until recent times it was unheard of because of what's been going on. But to see that announcement was pretty quick, and I was really shocked to see it so soon, especially at full capacity.
All these venues are going to start. This is the point of the broadcast, or it's just open forum at this point. But it's like a lot of these venues now, it's like they were holding so back, and now everything opens so quickly, at least in some areas, where now it's just like, when can you come? When can you come? So now it's like everyone's tripping on each other. So
you're going to get a big influx of hero cards coming from all different directions.
That's why I'm a little panicked. Like, okay, if we're getting back to regular autograph sessions and regular pit parties, like obviously that hero card stuff's going to have to go away. But
careful what you wish for.
I like collecting them, but it's just so tough.
Yeah, in a similar fashion, like I said, I want to go to other shows that I have never been to, or areas that I've never been to. Like Glendale was my first show in Arizona I've been to, and I wanted to make a note of trying to get to like Foxborough, but Foxborough falls on my birthday, so I couldn't go to Foxborough this year. And there's so many people.
Happy birthday!
There was a great birthday present.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Not yet, August 28th. But there were so many people that I wanted to meet at that show because they're all on the East Coast that I've never got to meet, or a couple of them I have, but not a majority of them I have not. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Foxborough, I'm going to go to MetLife, and then, of course, Los Angeles interfered with MetLife because it's just too soon, and then Foxborough's on my birthday.
You guys have no idea how bad I've wanted to.
What was that? There's a new video in here. Anyway, we're just gonna cut that right off. What were we saying, Phil?
I was just saying, MetLife. I have no idea how bad that's like the one place like I've wanted to be an event at. Like that's where I'm from, New York. That's just I've been all sorts of different places. I've never been to MetLife.
Yeah, OCD Champion was trying to hack in here for a second while you were in the middle of discussing something. But luckily I was able to cut it off.
Nice.
What was I saying? Yes, MetLife. I wanted to go to MetLife just because it could be a similar meeting ground for all of the East Coast fans that I've never met. But then also Nashville, one of my best friends currently lives there, and I want to take her and her friends and people that I know there to a show. And then, of course, Tyler's there as well.
Tyler,
and
time to go to Nashville because I was going to go.
Okay, am I seeing that correctly? Okay. Well, we're going to cut the discussion there and cut into this.
How many trucks we got left? In this
Well, you want to bring him on?
I don't even know now.
Hold on. There's.
He's here. He accepted the invite. He's here.
My.
This is crazy. OCD champion, everyone.
Who are you, and what do you want from us?
I am the OCD champion. I know I had some imposters earlier, but
Not
that's
enhancement?
not me.
What?
I am the only OCD champion.
Were you the guy that was in here earlier?
Nope.
Nope.
I wouldn't do that to you, Phil.
I love the
No one cared who I was until I put on the mask.
True.
Bane, sorry.
I love this our comments section.
Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing this? Because I am the OCD champion.
What do you want?
Belt.
How are you getting in here?
That's for me to know, for you to never find out.
Oh, okay. That was it.
Nerd.
Okay. He'll be back in episode 40.
What a nerd.
That was very interesting.
All that planning, that's the best you could come up with.
There was no. I mean, for him, yeah, he probably planned it. For us, we didn't. That's how you know we weren't planning this because we didn't have a script or anything. For him.
I know you guys didn't. But
it was literally in the middle of our MetLife Nashville discussion.
I thought we were gonna cut it into diecast.
So, okay, well, there's OCD champion, everyone. The anticlimactic.
If anybody knows what he wants, because I asked that and he didn't answer that question, let us
You
know.
might want a snow cone since that mask or the cup. Yeah.
He just wants to be included. I got minion popsicles. Those are good.
Oh, those are
popsicles. Yeah, again, we weren't planning that. We didn't have a script for it, so we're sorry how awkward it was because it wasn't part of our actual show. I just didn't know if he was going to show up or not, and he did. So there's that. Back to where we were going, since that again was not actually part of the broadcast today. MetLife unfortunately can't do that. Nashville looks like it's going to be interfering with Los Angeles, and judging by the record that I've had going on from every show I've been to, which are 2. It's likely that I'm going to be probably up on the stage in Los Angeles, so I'm just going to have to cancel the other shows because if I can talk on screen at a hometown show, that's pretty awesome because Staples Center. All of my friends know what Staples Center is, and having a picture up there at Staples Center is just it would be a dream come true for me. Or Anaheim also if that's announced soon. So I'm prioritizing right now anything on the West Coast in my area, Anaheim, Los Angeles, and of course since the survey said Las Vegas was being probed for a potential show. Las Vegas obviously is going to take priority over everything else. Like if there's Anaheim and Las Vegas, it's going to be Las Vegas. There's no doubt about that. But those are the West Coast, the 3 West Coast areas that I'm looking at. If the end of the year has no West Coast shows, which is probably unlikely judging how many they're doing, I might try to sneak over to the East Coast and do something if they're doing more. But we all can kind of predict that things are going to get pretty busy over the next time period. While things open up, while states kind of change their rules, especially California. California, for those who don't live here or know, tomorrow California fully reopens its economy. So everything's just going to rapidly change here. So shows are going to inherently appear here more often than not. So, I'm looking towards that. I'm very excited for it, but it's going to be a busy time to be running around to all these shows. So, yes, that's kind of an answer to people who are asking me what I'm doing, because I know I left it ambiguous where I'm going next, but the anticlimactic end to that is that I'm just going to be sticking around Los Angeles for now.
I tried to get you to
start from a joke,
but next year is always everything's new. Every year, everything's changing. Next year, I hope to make an East Coast show. That's a goal of mine, to at least make it to either Foxborough or MetLife. Those are the main ones I look at. I know Florida counts as an East Coast show, but I'm talking like the upper East Coast, New England area, because I really want to. And then hopefully Nashville, I'll make it out there at some point, because again, my friend lives out there. And Tyler lives out there, so I'm going to make it there sometime at some point. But it's a busy time, and we weren't able to say that for a long time, and now we're back to busy life, and everyone's kind of going everywhere. So that's my update on that. And Phil, do you know any ideas where your next show will be, so I can meet up with you again and sign your truck for you so to ship it to me?
No, it's being shipped because I got to mail something else to you. So
all right.
I don't know.
Right.
Whatever. The Piper rings his phone. It's too hot to do Arizona events, so we're gonna wait for a little bit.
I love how Tyler was also one to say this to me. Party, they're gonna make me party. Okay.
I tried to get him to go to Nashville, Tyler.
Because I told him to.
Look at all these guys trying to pressure me to Nashville now. And then
I tried. I wanted to get involved.
It went from Foxborough. Everyone wants me to go to Foxborough. Then Nashville and Los Angeles, like, hey, we're here. So
I got my truck. I'm gonna take out Bari and Craig and Paul Jansen and all the other dudes. Darren Miguez, that dude needs a drink. He's always mad. Yeah, I'm gonna take him out instead of you. You're missing out. Fifth and Broadway.
You know what? I won't even. You know what? No, it's better for next year because I won't even be 21 until August 20th of this year. So we have to wait. So next year,
I'm 23. Let me know.
21.
Yeah. So next year I'll be able to hang out with the boys after hours at the bars. So right now I'm still living the not fully adult life. But anyway, those are the show announcements. I mean, I guess we can just kind of touch on it because I know everyone's been looking forward to it, and it's kind of been just like rapid fire, like Phil said, just flooding events. Everyone's trying to go everywhere because everyone wants to do something. So the companies that run shows and stuff, Monster included, want to fill venues, and you're fighting with concerts, like artists that want to fill their venues, and then you have Monster Jam, then you have football coming back, and all these different sports. So it went from being such a quiet time to just busy, and I love it. I do, because it feels like normal life, and I think most people would agree with that. What I was going to say was I also am looking at if Petco Park San Diego gets a show. I've never been to Petco Park in San Diego, and that's still a West Coast show. I would probably make a drive down there, maybe split my Anaheim shows if they're going. I don't know how they're going to structure this if they do those shows, but if they do Anaheim one week, then San Diego, or however they're going to do that, I'd love to make at least a couple of the Anaheim shows and then a San Diego show. Try to hit as many California South Bay shows as I can. RJ, any idea of where you're going next? Nashville, it sounds like now.
Well, yeah, making a hard case for Nashville.
Yeah.
Maybe Miami weekend.
Just
maybe.
bought my ticket today.
Oh, nice.
Maybe Miami. I think, I don't know, Chickasha, my local town, normally has one, and then Ada at the end of July. Past that, not sure. So maybe Nashville. Maybe.
Well, we just heard where Tyler's going next. I was about to say something more. Now I just read Levi's comments. I'm drawing a blank. I guess we'll come back to it if I remember.
Tyler, you want to talk about your RC truck? Because I don't think we talked about it.
Oh, yeah, the RC. We didn't get to finish talking about that. Just tell us a little bit about like the build and like what you're going for. Where did it go? There it is. Here.
There it is.
Yeah. So I mean, look at it. It's so detailed. Again, as always. Tell us a little bit about like the chassis and everything that went into this, and like all the parts, if you want to. Here. I mean.
Okay.
There we go.
So the chassis is an Axial SMT10. If everybody's familiar with that. Me being a painter, mind you, all these trucks that I paint, they're all automotive cleared, which Ryan knows firsthand. I told him what to get, and look how his stuff turned out. Not tooting his horn now, but it's good stuff.
No, it's amazing.
My chassis colors for Savage is House of Color, Galaxy Crystal Pearl Metallic or something like that. So I airbrushed the whole chassis with that color and then cleared it in automotive urethanes. And then the axles are the Vanquish axles. I don't know the exact ones, but they're pretty pricey. They're $150 a housing. It's got too much power in it. I can't hit more than 3 jumps without breaking it. And I know this because this truck actually used to be in my reckless driving before I overhauled it to this, and I ain't driven it since. But it has a Castle 5600 brushless motor in it, and then a Hobby Wing 8th scale ESC and a 3S LiPo.
Oops, sorry, I keep going that wrong photo.
So I pull the trigger half throttle and it's doing like backflips. If I try to do donuts faster than half throttle, it's flipping out of control. I go off a jump, I'm snapping 4-link bar rod ends like crazy. So it's just a nice shelf queen. It's just my little or my big replica of the die cast and the drawing. So I mean, that's about it.
Yeah.
Have you broken it yet?
A weird comment.
Have you broken it yet?
No, I won't drive it. Now it's all painted all nice and fancy. I just my nice shelf queen.
The display piece. And then, of course, I actually worked with, I wanted to mention this earlier on. I worked with Tyler, and based off his RC custom, I did a lot of Photoshop work to get this achieved. But we actually worked together and made a die cast of the Savage body. Using the square body, which has its limitations, but Tyler, of course, went in here and made the modifications that were necessary to make it look like the RC here. But yeah, this was a fun build. Looking back and reflecting on it almost 2 summers ago now. All of the work that went into it. I mean, I really had to get in there. I wasn't very. Now I'm better at Photoshop than I was then, and starting with my skill set then, it was pretty difficult to get a lot of this stuff done. I was also just in the kind of background of this build. I was just starting to use a new process of now we don't use it anymore, but powder coating. This body is powder coated with orange, and he disappeared. He's coming back with it. Okay, there it is. So this body was actually one of very few that I did that were powder coated. So we powder coated it, and then, or I did, and then did this new decal process, which also was new. So it was actually a 4-layer decal process where I print out.
Full screen. If you
Oh
want
yeah,
to.
let's pull him on here as he does that. So
sorry.
that's the finished product there. After he's customized it himself as well. So all of those decals, everything you see, were 3 layers of white toner or a print out. If you guys don't have a laser printing, I don't know what I'm really talking about, but just call it white ink for now. It's not ink, but it's like it looks like it. So it's layers upon layers upon layers of that to make a solid white background, and then you apply the color layer, which is clear on normal surfaces until you put on the white. Then the color shows through. So that was new, and all of that was being done. Those new processes for this truck because he had commissioned it. So I did all of that, and then I also ended up adding on the windshield, which I had never done before, but using the white ink process, I layered 3 layers of that onto the windshield and did at Savage1Customs custom print there like they used to do with the Avenger and other things. So I got that on there for him. That's the only truck I've ever done with that, and that's pretty cool. I love that little detail I did, which, again, not to toot my own horn now, but I think that was a cool little detail that just came last minute. I also was just starting to do the OCD custom labels on the negative space bar. So his truck was really like a starting piece of the new process that I still use to this day. And then he went in and did his own chassis work, as he always does, and looks phenomenal with the airbrush color. I'm assuming that's the same chassis color that you airbrushed, right? The House of Color for this here? Yeah, so you can see that color much closer there now. And he even has his own driver fire suit and helmet for this truck here. So yeah, this was a really fun project to be involved in. And then, of course, he finished it up with the urethane finish one, automotive clear coat, which just set it all off. I mean, and here's some other work of Savage as well. I mean, he has a bunch of different things. So that was the customs. Here's the, I don't know why we have the yellow. This was kind of a canceled design that we were working on, but there's a different video games here.
That's Mike Bev's
okay.
replica.
Yeah, I must have given him the wrong one when he did that. Then we have, this is like Taylor. This is Taylor's artwork here. Yeah, Taylor. Then we have Mutazumi's, which I still think is his most accurate drawing of anyone ever. Looks just like you.
Seriously, like hold on.
It's just, yeah. Let's pull you up here. So, yeah. I mean, it looks. Yeah, wait, let me pull you back up. Ready? There you go. There you go. Yeah, it looks just like him. When he drew that and showed me, I was like, oh my god, that's exactly Tyler. Then we have actually what we were just showing, which was the 6B apparel crew shirts. So you can see the design work on the back, since we can't really show the back. So you get Facebook and his Instagram, American flag on here, correctly positioned. Most people ask me when I talk about these on trucks, and I know Tyler obviously familiar with the Army, why the flag's pointing backwards, and that's accurate because, of course, going towards battle, the pole would be here on this side of the flag. You can't have a flag facing away from battle, cowering. So Tyler got that correct. Of course he would, because his Army uniform would have it that way too. There's his own drawing, and then a couple other things. You can see All-Star Challenge. You got this really cool plaque here from All-Star, which is super awesome, looking back at all these different memories. And
Cody Associate gave that to me.
Yeah, really awesome stuff. And there's that crew shirt again. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that Savage has kind of become, artwork and customs and RC and mugs. And yeah, I love the history of it. I really do. And if there's like a list of people that I really want to have their own fan-inspired truck, it would definitely be Tyler at some point in time to have Savage produced. I really want that. So
that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And if I'm ever chosen to help choose and filter through people, I can guarantee your name will be on that list for them to choose and pick from. And knowing that you got the behind the scenes with the main people on. Hold on. Sorry, let me take a quick break here. Phil, do you want to ask Tyler something?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised it kind of went this way. I thought we were going to finish off the year. Like, what happened?
What year? No, well, when we bring a guest on like this, I don't want to have a discussion like that, because we're more so focused about you and just kind of taking a step back. And instead of talking about the toys,
I thought we were going to finish the year off. I thought it was just going to be a 4-way. I didn't know it was going to turn into a me thing. Like, I almost feel bad. I don't think anybody was expecting this.
I was good with it being a Tyler episode. So.
And it's cool. It's cool though. Episode 30. I feel like, yay, I'm on it.
True, I agree.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the comments? Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things in the comments talking about mostly RC though.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. It's crazy.
Let's
see.
Okay, well, I guess
Dominator-
we'll open up before we head off here because we're almost at the 2-hour mark anyway. We'll open up to a couple more comments in here, and then we will end off podcast. So open discussion for the podcast comments. Any other questions? Of course, not asking what Spin Master's making in the next mix, please. Just for Tyler this time.
I'll tell you what Spin Master's making. I'm just kidding.
Okay, that's a good question. How's your Jeep coming along?
That's a great question. The roll cage is done. I have a floorboard that needs to get welded in because current one's a little rusty, so I got to cut it out. And then I got half doors going on, and a lot of it's just body work and cosmetics. It's getting there. I posted on my other page. I got more like a personal page where I just keep all the hobby stuff away from that. It's more like my truck, my Jeep, what I do in real life. So I'm not fluttering my hobby page and my real life coincide against one another, if that makes sense. So kind of two separate things, but I'll try to post it on here more often if people are interested. But
yeah, I mean, I was interested in it.
One scales, it's coming along. It's just burning a hole in my pocket.
Fair, of course.
Okay. What is your favorite and least favorite truck on the circuit right now?
Well, way to make it controversial.
So
you just said you're a controversial person.
Yeah, true. We'll keep it Feld specific, I guess. My least favorite trucks, it's always going to be Monster Mutt. I'm sorry. Not the Dalmatian particularly. I'm just not a Mutt fan. And my favorite, oh man, that's currently competing. Yeah, we get put on the spot. I always want to say Metal Militia, but it's not around anymore. Man, it's hard to pick a cotton one. I look at my.
You gotta look at his wall.
Yeah, look at my wall and see what pops out. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get back to that one. Maybe it'll click when we answer some more. I can't really pick a favorite at the moment. Yeah, that's tough.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I guess the driver comments back, but this is from Nathan Smith, who is another customizer. So, Tyler, if you were to get behind the wheel one time, who would you want to race? One from the past and one from the present. Who would it be and why? That's a stacked question.
That's a great question. Hands down, Tom Ince. In my opinion, he is the greatest driver of all time. And it goes back all the way to Monster Patrol, which is actually my all-time favorite truck with him driving. And seeing what he did with that truck on the low budget they were with and hopping in the bulldozer and then all his glory with the Goldberg, the Team Mans to Max D, I would love to race that guy. I talked to him quite a bit one-on-one. And then I guess present, I kind of like to do a tandem freestyle, if that counts, with Jim Kohler. That's my man. He's such a goofball. He's so much fun. He's another one. I love talking to him. It's one of those things where you meet him, when you meet him, you talk to him one-on-one, you kind of feel a connection, I get more attached to those guys per se. I'd love to run with Jim Kohler. Maybe a monster truck throwdown event or something.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see you. I agree with that. That'd be fun.
We've already kind of talked about this a lot, Levi, earlier, if you missed it.
Yes, Levi.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is. So if y'all been paying attention, you notice how every single event, it's 8 trucks an event. So what they're going to do is they're bringing the World Finals back, and it's going to be a 16-truck event like World Finals 1.
Levi, they're announcing it on Wednesday. Next question.
I'm totally kidding. I hope nobody actually.
Oh, I thought that you might have known.
Kidding, guys.
I was like, did you just actually leak inside info? I don't know anything.
Yeah, I leaked what was read on a video last week. Sorry,
I was only I don't know how people are watching that. But.
No, I don't know. I was shocked for a moment. Ooh, okay. I think we talked about this earlier, but if you want to briefly, one's more for the people who really want to know about that 5-pack again, just recap what you thought about it.
So, Mr. Controversial here. In my opinion, they should not have done an El Toro Loco 5-pack because they already gave us 3 of those paint schemes, and the other 2 they could have gave us Retro Rebels. That's just my opinion on it. However, I do like the 5-pack. Looking at it from a customizer perspective, with all the different assortment of retro tires, there's 4 in a pack, so I don't have to go out and spend all this money on individuals or prior packs that aren't around anymore. And it kind of makes me wonder, we did Gravedigger, we did Max D, we did El Toro Loco. Maybe we'll get Monster Mutt next year, which is funny because I don't like Monster Mutt, but it would be cool to see them correct the Mercury. And we've never had 3 corrected shoes before. That would be the original mutt, the junkyard, the Rottweiler, the Dalmatian. So that's 4. So that could be a potentially good 5-pack full of Mercuries.
Yeah.
Unbiased opinion here. Like, it'd be cool to see it. I still would wish we get the Avenger 5-pack with World
Yeah.
Final Schemes. Every fan's dream, right there with you. But it seems like the trend they're going towards. I would believe them to come with Mercs next. I would hope that's what it would be. But the Toro Loco 5-pack, I don't think they should have done it, but I do like it. I do like it from a customizer perspective.
Oh yeah.
You do get the notorious maroon El Toro Loco coming back.
Yeah.
Actually, in the end, it actually didn't turn out to be the maroon El Toro Loco. Actually, it became
Really?
Yeah. So what I recall from when they actually first showed us, we do our biannual, or is that right? Half the year or whatever. Every 6 months we do a toy fair meetup, and we'll talk about things coming out. When this was first announced to me, it was the maroon El Toro Loco, and everything was differently placed on this. It looked like these logos are now where they're bent over the fender. But this El Toro Loco actually did run, and it was post-maroon phase, where, of course, the real-life truck didn't run very long. We talked about this over and over again, and Hot Wheels just kept producing it, which makes it seem like it was around longer than it was. But this one is accurate to a real-life version of El Toro Loco when they went from the maroon to like a semi-dark red, but not orange yet color, which is this color. It's not perfectly color accurate to the real truck, but this is the first time the truck ran besides the maroon with the yellow horns. So it went from red with yellow horns from the white with red. So anyway, that's that. But also you'll notice the mouth is imprinted on, and I thought that was an error for a moment because it could be an early sample, but I also knew that Jordan was way too smart to not fix that if that was the case, because obviously these ones have it. That's actually also accurate to the real truck, where it didn't have it going on to the actual cheek of the face here. And then the last thing I noticed was the Monster Jam logo placement, and the El Toro Loco logo not being bent over the fender was also accurate to the I think it's 2009 El Toro Loco. So this date is wrong, but of course, like I said, there are many different things that are wrong with it. So again, it's not maroon El Toro Loco. So it turned out to actually be a brand new El Toro Loco that we have never received accurately from any company. So fun little thing there to see that. And then I agree. We didn't get to finish with the discussion on this just because we kind of wanted to go towards Tyler specifically. But as a broad picture here, there are a few things that make this pack a little weak in terms of how many times they've been released. For instance, the Yellow Toro Loco this year will have been released 2 years in a row, and then capping it off at 3 in the same time frame of 2 years. So I get why people can be apathetic towards this pack, especially when they toss in Bulldozer here without any without any changes. It's basically a reissue, which they've never done up to this point. And then, of course, they did a Showtime Chase piece that looks almost identical to this, besides the tires and the shocks not being printed on. I hope this is an early sample. They really should have done the flame updates just to differentiate it, because right now you're basically sitting on a Showtime truck there. And then they also painted this motor, but not this one. So very interesting. It's kind of spotty. I think
it's just early production, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm hoping that we're working with early production here, because there's a lot of things I would fix. And if this is the final product in terms of how the trucks are set, that's going to be a little bit of an interesting sell, because this is coming out in singles Retro Rebel. At least I think that's what it looks like. This already has come out now. This already has come out. And this technically has already come out, besides the bandana and the updates to this. So really, if you think about it, if that's the case, if this is what we're looking at, you're going to be looking for this one single unit here, which is not the best thing, because considering that the last 2 5-packs have had something at least once that has not been yet released again, and definitely wasn't released prior to the release of the 5-pack. So that's kind of the back and forth on that. But thank you for bringing us back to this, because I did want to finish up on that. And that's also now covering just Tyler and everything, but also covering that for you guys. I wasn't going to do a video on it or post about it, but that's the coverage on the 5-pack, because people did want to know about it. So hopefully we're just looking at some samples, because there's a couple things that I would have personally changed. As far as like a prediction for a 5-pack, great stuff that people always give. When it comes to a Mercury Mutt pack, and I'll push this back to Tyler because he's got such a creative brain, there's 4 Mercury Mutts. There's Junkyard, there's Dalmatian, Rottweiler, Normal. That 5th truck, what would you plug that 5th truck in? What would you do for that 5th spot if we said, hey, here's a Monster Mutt pack, design it, and we need your input on it? That pause is where I'm also stuck when people suggest that.
Wasn't? Oh man, I feel like no, that can't be right. I was gonna say I feel like there was a variation in the original mutt color. Like it was more like a yellow versus a brown, but I think my mind's playing tricks on me. But I mean, you look at the current 5-packs that we got, and they've got almost a repeat in every single one of them, or something that's been released in the normal line. So maybe the original 3D mutt that came out on retro tires before it went BKT, maybe. But you get
That's a good idea.
But 4 Mercuries, that's so strong. To me, I wouldn't even care about the 5th, just because you got 4 brand new trucks in one pack. I just whatever, you know.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe throw a wild card like a monster mutt trainer. I don't know.
Yeah, that could work.
That's actually
That's
a
just
good idea.
that's just
With
way
a tail on it. With a tail on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is also, here's another one. I mean, you've done a custom of it before. This was also a suggestion, tossing that into the pack since it was technically a precursor. You know, that's there's often times when I come up, or people come up to me with ideas, and they're great ideas, but then you have to plug in the pieces of, okay, if they're going to do a Mercury Mutt pack or a Monster Mutt pack, there's 5 trucks and we have an uneven field. You know, what would they do? They can't just pick and choose one of the 3D mutts because it doesn't make sense, or it's not fair in a sense. I mean, it's an inanimate object, but you have to also think that, you know, how would we balance it out? The answer would probably be Dalmatian, just out of general consensus of what they do with Dalmatian, how much they use it. But I love the idea, and I'm not saying that it's happening. I'm just saying that I try to plug and play things also when I make suggestions like that, because it has to be strong enough that they want to consider it. Avenger has been suggested beyond belief. I hope that one year it does happen. It'll help us catch up.
Yeah.
At another rate, I also hope that maybe they would just consider like doing an Amazon 12-pack of Avenger. But then again, it is an independent. It's not Monster Jam owned, and it is a Monster Jam product. You know, so I get the little bits of things where we kind of can't always do everything that we want. But
can I go back to the mutt real quick?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So in my mind, it makes sense. If you look at the El Toro Loco 5-pack and the Max D 5-pack, from where it started to where it ends. So Monster Mutt started as a Mercury, just like El Toro Loco started as Bulldozer, and then they ended it with the most current Bulldozer, quote unquote, most current red El Toro Loco. It'd be the same thing if you use the 3D Monster Mutt, but you're including the other 3 Monster Mutts with it, being the Junkyard, the Dalmatian, and the Rottweiler. So you get all the in between. So you're starting with the original mutt and you're ending with the 3D one, but you're getting all the other mutt variants in the middle. So to me, I don't know, it seems fair. If we're comparing it to all the other prior 5-packs we're getting.
Yeah. So we're approaching our mark here. So we want to thank Tyler for joining us today, and I'm sure he'll be back on at some point in the future. It was a great discussion, and we do want to do more of these as we kind of bring in customizers or really anyone. And people have wanted this, so we do appreciate Tyler for his time and all of the knowledge and all of the dedication to the sport and the fan that he is. So thank you all for watching, and we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you guys next time. This is Ryan, Tyler, RJ, and Phil signing out.